Hello everyone and welcome to our first Let's Play for Victoria 3 1. Victoria 3's 1.8.2 patch. I played a game kind of off camera as Russia with laissez-faire and got an idea of roughly how it works now. Had some interesting things occur. India imploded at some point. The Ottomans actually own Egypt now at the start as a protectorate, which is a very interesting detail because before Egypt already had some independence, so this is more of like referring how it's on the verge of breaking, but it hasn't quite broken free yet. This is very fun. But we are playing as the US today, and we are going to try, instead of going for the laissez-faire that I did in my private game, we're going to go for command economy, and we're just going to see how that works. I don't know the exact nation we're going to form here, but we're going to try to keep liberal citizenship laws to get a ton of people, get a high standard of living, get a GDPC of 7, I believe is what we put in the description. And we're just going to kind of see where it goes from there. But before we can dream about controlling the economy from DC, we need to actually build an economy. And there's definitely a couple things I'm going to want to do early on here. I don't know if Texas is going to win their war against Mexico. Usually they lose, but we're going to boost relations with them just in case. Russia for Alaska. Relations with Britain. Actually, you know what? Texas is probably not going to last. I would like to form a power block quickly, too, now that I think about it. Probably for the Trade League. And I do prefer the internal trade, even though the companies are working a bit weirdly. I just like the internal trade's bonus of infrastructure and convoys. But I think you need 500 influence for that, so we gotta choose and figure out someone to make into a rival. Antagonistic Spain? Perfect. I know forming this power block will upset everyone else who has a power block, but that's okay. The Colombian Pact, Association, isn't it? The Glorious Union, Preferential State. I'm just trying to see like what it gives us. I'm surprised it's not doing the wall. I usually see it do Wall Street Pact. Steadfast Union. Why not? We'll just start with that. We can always change it later. And Russia actually got upset with that. They are now cautious instead of cooperative. That's fine. We can handle that. We do want nationalism first because the U.S. does get a decision to manifest destiny, which is fun. And I've heard that you do have to eat this cost now, even if you already own all the states you get claims to. So we'll just pop this off as soon as possible. Interest-wise, may as well just hold our interests over here for now. Right, Hawaii. I was going to ask why we had interest in Oceania. It's because of Hawaii. Raise taxes to normal. Our government is already unacceptable, so that's just normal American politics right now, I'm sure. I would love to change to dedicated police early on, but I think we'll just wait for the first election in 1836. We'll join liberal movement. Liberal movement would be a good step, but we do need some kind of authoritarian distribution of power later down the line, or else we're not really going to be able to get the command economy going. So it might not bolster the liberal movement. What are our movements, actually? Probably do want the abolitionist movement to get strong just so we can end slavery, ideally avoiding the Civil War. So we probably want to suppress the pro-slavery movement, make sure that doesn't get stronger than it already is. And then bolster the abolitionist movement. That leaves us 250 authority to use to either pass laws with or taxes. Speaking of, not taxes, but just resources, really. We are definitely going to want to do an initial import for grain. I guess from Russia. Just because our grain prices are a bit up there. I don't think it's having much of a negative impact on our food security. I mean, unless you're in Oklahoma, I guess it's fine. But just one of those little things for us to keep an eye on here and there. Definitely boost education level 3. I'm actually going to drop law enforcement as well, just to weaken the southern planters here, the landowners a little. It's only a 5% drop in their strength, but there's no reason to give them extra weapons against us if we don't have to. So definitely want to use sweeteners. And then we could just not produce liquor and just produce tobacco? I don't know. I might leave them as they are for the moment. Tennessee is the most profitable. We could export liquor. We could export obsessions. What could go wrong with that? I definitely want to change the starting company. We have 2, but that's one of those kind of like low priority things. We definitely want to get a few more constructions going. And then we do need to get iron mines. Ooh, do we start with motor industries now? Last I remember, the U.S. did not start with the motor industry, actually. Very nice. At least I think so. I could be wrong. So I guess we'll get a couple railways going early on, too, here. We do need to make sure that we can import iron at a very cheap price, which will be Russia, France, and Britain, I guess. You know what? Let's take the interest out of Oceania for now. It's not very useful to us. Let's get an interest over here in the Rhine so we can trade with Belgium, Sweden, and Prussia for all their glorious, glorious iron ore. And then I would love to just get the grocery company going, but I need to have a level 5 of that and own the building, so that's going to be a bit. Or we could just skip to the iron company, but I would love to just get as many pops as possible. Apparently, we have a population between 0 and 0k right now. You can tell the game has just been initialized. No historical data. Okay, I think that might be everything for now. Oh, we could have not rivaled Mexico because they're minor power, right? Could we just invade them right off the bat? France would join, which would be a problem. Okay, fair enough. We're under a national militia, so a lot of our army is kind of entirely militia-based. It is basically recruit the farmers from the homeland and hope it all works out. But the good news is that we can get a lot of people very quickly. Well, maybe very quickly. We'll see how long they last. Alrighty. No, I think we're ready to start. I think we are ready to start. Unless I'm forgetting something. I think I might be. I am. Because we already can use the philosophy department for our universities to make them a tad better. See, this is why... Ooh, wait, how much will that do? Maybe we lay off the tools for the moment. Yeah. This is why you want to double check your production methods at the start. You never know when there might be a better option already available. Sometimes, at least. I know we don't have any silks. We can't really make luxury, I was gonna say furniture, luxury clothes, but we can make lots of luxury furniture, which we might dip into in a bit. And you know, let's just switch to regular furniture production. We can save precision tools for later. And I know ceramics got adjusted to where it uses less dye and less glass to make less porcelain. Interesting change. Not against it, just kind of quietly judging it in the background. We do have local dye production in places like Georgia and Florida down here, so that's good. I think we're kind of ready to begin. The only thing I would like to do is export tobacco, just because it's a cheap product that we are currently the #1 producer for. Why don't we export it to Russia and France? We'll just see how that goes. Oh, Brazil. I know Brazil has a variety of early game issues with its just basic food economics. So that'll be fun. Why don't we export liquor to them as well? Why not? We'll just export intoxicants. We'll be a different form of the British Empire, I guess. Oh, really? We get the atmospheric engine completion now if we're a nation that would have already had it done. I'll take it. Hey, that's free research to the water tube boiler right here. 35% of progress. I will take it. And the U.S. is on the Texas is on the offense first, which means they'll lose. The only way the only way Texas can win is if they play defense. If they don't play defense, they will just drop. Wait, we already have a migration? Wait, we just started. The English one is normal. That always happens. We already have a migration of North Caucasian people? I'm surprised. I'm really taken aback by this. So the base acceptance is 10 for a culture because of racial segregation. Let's do, yeah, just improve it by 20. And then reject slavery in the West. How is their acceptance overall? Because I know with total separation, they should just get a slight bonus there as well, right? Yeah, so they'll actually go to cultural erasure. after enough time, which is still going to give them a variety of negatives. But it's like minus 20 wage instead of minus 30 with our current racial segregation law. We'll try to change that later on, but right now we can't adjust it with our current slave-based system. Let's see. We could honestly tax. Instead of tobacco, let's tax services. It's about the same price, but the upper strata will eat more of the initial cost. Okay, that will stop the Indians from being forcefully moved to the preservations for 3 years. It's not perfect, but it will reduce casualties. Circassian people. Also, you know what? Just start trading with Russia right away as the U.S. You'll get some early migration. Andrew Jackson dies. Oh no. Well, I think we're supposed to get migration in Pennsylvania, but I guess we're not getting a lot of people. Andrew Jackson will change ideology to slaver, but he's also going to unexpectedly perish. So John Calhoun has assumed the presidency, and the yeoman farmers are now led by a random slaver. Fantastic. Winfield Scott. No, let's just let Henry Clay become an abolitionist. Oh, it looks like the slavers are going to keep power for a bit. That's a little unfortunate, but there's not much we can do for the time being. This movement is causing individuals to radicalize. Ooh, okay. Alright, then. We'll just deal with that. Normally, I don't build railroads right off the bat, but I didn't realize we were going to actually have engines immediately as the U.S. It's very fun. I'm very happy about that. And then we just need to get a lot of these going. Ooh, the investment pool is functioning, so let's actually get a few more of these going. I keep forgetting that the clicking is a lot more sensitive. Oh god, Henry Clay was caned. So now we can remove John Calhoun, who I'd like to remind you is the current president, because Andrew Jackson passed away. So now we have... It's been 1 year and we've already switched between several presidents. Okay. This is off to a fantastic start, do not worry. At least he's a moderate. At least he's, like, threading the middle line, I guess. I don't know if that makes us any better. We could switch to censorship early on. It would technically stop our tech spread, but the extra authority would help. Plus the movement effect it provides. Why not? Why not? Ooh, more mass migration. And a heat wave. This is why you shouldn't allow migrations. They just bring random heat waves. I have nothing to base this on. This is a lot of migrations for this early on. I haven't even done anything to attract them. I know, right? Alright, so once we get these iron mines going... Ooh, wow, we're actually running into an iron shortage. There we go. That should help. Ooh, Bulgarians are moving up here? Ooh, interesting. We've got some of them ourselves. Oh, so now this provides a percentage reduction to your innovation rather than a flat 5. That makes more sense. It means it has a stronger effect when your innovation is higher, but it doesn't nuke your innovation if it's lower right off the bat. Are papers high? It is. Apparently we can import paper from Russia and Britain, so we'll just do that really quick, just to keep the paper costs low early on, just to prevent this from getting too bad. We might actually take advantage of our current... Yeah, let's do high taxes really quick. Take advantage of the situation there. Oh? Oh. Mexico is attacking Central America. Interesting. Mexico is even willing to... Well, no, they're antagonistic. They would never... Who else is involved in this? Britain could get involved. They're cooperative towards Mexico. But Britain is genial towards us and would agree to a trade agreement. In fact, we should probably look into those early on here just to sway people to our cause over other causes. We might be able to get an early Mexican puppet off of this. The only issue is that we wouldn't be able to take a lot of this territory right off the bat. I think it's like, what, some 50-ish infamy? 53 right now, and that's only going to get higher as time goes on. I mean, it might be worth it. Mexico would be split on two fronts. The only concern is if Britain gets involved, we're kind of... Oh, wait, they're in the middle of their China invasion right now. Okay, you know what? I might take it. That might be worth it. The alternative... Well, Central America puppet wouldn't matter. It's going to collapse, yeah. Let's do it. Let's do it, and let's see what that does to the math here. Okay, Britain still doesn't care. Britain won't like us because of what we've done, but they don't care enough to get involved. We'll mobilize one conscript group and then have the others ready for naval invasions. We actually should probably position one in Central America. Actually, I mean, if Mexico's going to be our puppet, it doesn't really matter if Central America falls. It doesn't matter that much to me if they fall then. Because that's just infamy I don't have to get later. So I guess we could just kind of play it safe. Maybe combine the two naval units here into a larger naval group. Just so it doesn't get destroyed early on. That is going to kind of put us into quite the deficit, though. And it's a bit risky, but we may have to do very early taxes here. Ooh, the armed forces are very loyal now. Very good. American Nebraska will remain a free territory. Then... Oh, have you lost your general? You have lost your general. Right, because he just passed away. That makes sense. Protectionist. And we'll do a quick naval invasion to Mexico. Did they add any other war goals on either side? No, so we are kind of on a timer to win this. But that's okay. We'll win the naval war pretty easily, and since Mexico's military is split between two fronts, there's little reason to believe that they'd be able to stop us. This army just can't deploy right away because it's not organized. I do see I missed some of our construction there early on, but that's okay. Get a few more of those going. We'll probably get a few groceries here for the planned production. I kind of want to just focus on making groceries, honestly, just because that is a food. And it would make food security a lot better. I do know that our really high taxes are going to cause some discontent nationally, but we'll just have to deal with it for now. But yeah, that's going to be a very easy war to win then. Oh, they actually seized... Oh, because it collapsed. Like, yeah, they collapsed entirely down there. But that's okay, because we'll still be in the war, and there's nothing Mexico can do to win it, because they've already lost. I don't know why you're pulling away, though. Where is this army? I mean, we'll win, but where is this army going? We have nationalism done now. I would like to get pharmaceuticals just to get healthcare going. A second company is never a bad idea, and so is modern sewage. It's always good. But let's actually grab the water to boiler, just so we can kind of bolster our mining production pretty early on here. We'll keep producing liquor this time. We'll just see how, like, liquor production goes, since we do have access to a lot of potential sugar plantations. It does mean we might not make as much tobacco because of all the cheap liquor. But if we're producing both, we can kind of switch between them as we needed. So if one of them ever becomes more popular than the other, we can always just switch over. Well, this has no railway, that's right. Can we export luxurious goods? Not with the protectionist tariffs, I suppose, but aside from that, maybe. There you go. I do see Spain is invading Haiti to make it a protectorate. Would Haiti become our protectorate? No. Is this an opportunity to yoink Cuba early? Unfortunately, no. Haiti does not like us, and since Haiti's being antagonistic, I think we'll just ignore Haiti's plight for our own sake instead. Because with the war no longer ongoing... Ooh, free university. It'll be a little easier for us to get things going. There's just so many migrations going on. I'm not even seeing half of them because of how often the French Bretons already. I mean, I guess it is from France. France tends to have discontent issues early on. People don't necessarily agree who should be in charge, and none of them can really agree. I'd actually like to export our coal. Thank you very much. Central Americans must accept their lot. Ooh, what is this? Oh, Chile! Chile is going to war. Huh. Interesting. I don't think anyone would accept our involvement to become our subject. If either of them agreed, I'd say yes. But I don't think we can do another war goal to, like, hey, make them a subject. A Bolivia protectorate this early would be nice, but we have to keep in mind that this means Chile would annex a bunch of that. I'd rather... Ooh. The Argentine Confederation joined. That's the first time I've really seen such a South American war going on. Usually, Brazil is going in and beating someone up. That's like a full-on, actual war that could go either way. I'm curious how it will end. I actually want to see it play out. So I think we'll actually just let it play out on its own and see how it goes. We could do dedicated police force now. The only one who'll get upset is the, Southern planters, who I don't really care if they get upset as much. And everyone else will be happy, which is fantastic. For anyone that's not the landowners. Nationalize these, because we are going to get the grocery company going. So we'll disband this one. Establish that one. Which it will be the one in Tennessee. And this is why I'm not sure if I want to be doing liquor, because with the tobacco we're producing, it is having an issue with profitability in the long run, because it doesn't seem to maintain profitability. That's why I'm wondering, do we just switch over to making more groceries to feed people? But it could be that we just need to export more liquor. Like to the Swedish. Problem solved. Not solved. It's not really solved. We're just going to pretend it's solved. If I pretend it's solved... Oh, frost. It's going to be a snowy time. And here's the usual, where the southern planters are plotting a coup against the government. It's like a pastime. They just have to do it at some point. If they're not doing it, then they're just, they're just doing something wrong. It's just not right to them anymore then. Public address goes awry. Oh, let's just squeeze in some extra success chance from it. Traveled underfoot. Censor the officer responsible. Declare a rivalry with Russia. Who is in this fellowship? Just the industrialists? I can afford to upset them. And maybe, the people who just gave us 2 universities now. Yeah, let's go upset them. Sounds like a wonderful idea. I can't see this going wrong at all. Are you going to switch parties at all? You are going to switch parties. That'll be possibly troublesome. Catholic rights movement. Ooh, a labor movement. Oh, true. The labor movement can now exist. Wait, is the labor movement relevant already? Oh, hi. Wow. You appeared quickly. And you're agitating. That's good. Agitating means you'll help us do things, like pass laws. Laws that, in some cases, we already have. We might want to drop back down to high taxes soon, though, because I noticed that the radicalism is growing. How is that much from below expected minimum? That is growing much faster than I would like. Yeah, it's going to hurt. We're going to have to deficit spend, but if it gets too high and too out of control, we'll start having problems where people aren't really paying their taxes at all. We can stop supporting the abolitionist movement as long as the pro-slavery movement is suppressed. That way we can get a consumption tax going instead. That should alleviate this a little, because now their expected standard of living is going to be not as high. That's going to hurt, but we kind of need to keep this from getting too high, or else they'll coup us and establish an autocracy. Sounds great on paper, but that could be a problem later. Try to get Mexico to like us here so we can annex them faster. Hopefully annex them faster. Ooh. Makes the industrial stronger too, which is not necessarily a bad idea. Nope. Accuse them of corruption because we can't have them helping the coup. The Strasbourg Conference has been formed by France, which has actually improved Prussia's attitude towards us and made them reconciliatory. For now. We'll see if that holds. Water tube boiler is now active, which is going to help a lot. I'd love to get mechanized workshops and baking powder to make the economy run even better. But it might be a good idea to grab pharmaceuticals. What is the current support for the healthcare system? Not accounting for the checkpoint. Labor movement has 12% support right now. I know it's getting a bonus because of the, it's recently relevant. Public health insurance would get us a lot more people early on, but it's probably not necessary. It would get us to quinine for colonization elsewhere. I'd like to get steel frames is what I would really like, but that might be a bit of an early rush for the 40s. It's more of a technology we should get in the 50s. I mean, if we're gonna go down this road of making liquor, it wouldn't be a bad idea to run and get the 2 production methods, because if we do a little comparison, it's another 40 liquor for 10 less groceries. You add glass, but then we also get this that increases it by another 55 groceries, so a net change of 45 groceries if we're not using canning at all. But we could get a lot of meat. I don't know about fish, but I know we could get a lot of meat going, which would minimize our grain needs. So that's what I'm thinking here. So we might rush this. It would be 4 years, but it gets the economic tech going. And what we really should do once that iron is finished, yes, is get some universities up and running in the north. A flood in West Virginia and surrounding states. I don't like floods in this game. I really don't like the floods because they cause market access price impact reduction. And that's really painful. Oh, yes, let's kick them out. Oh, wait. If I kick the armed forces out, they might disappear. Ah, let's do it anyway. I need the government to be contested. Who needs an influential army? So I see Bolivia is now facing an invasion from Ecuador. What is happening? Like, I've never seen this. Bolivia is just being torn apart from both directions. From every direction, really. I mean, wow, they're just being torn apart. It's kind of sad. More migrations from France, always welcomed. You know what I just realized? I forgot to do the Manifest Destiny button. But since we're at like 37 infamy, we may as well just let it calm down anyway. Really can't form an alternative government. This is just kind of it. So basically the yeoman farmers kind of have to say of what goes here. Ooh, John Brown has arrived to support the abolitionist movement. We need to let him walk with God's blessing to give extra interest group attraction. He is a member of the evangelicals. Or we can do it in a way that makes the slaves become more radical. I think we'll just give him God's blessing. Crowded streets, which is the anti-coup event. It's gonna hurt our legitimacy. Attacking hidden communities. No, it's fine. We don't need to do that. Let the slave communities go as they are. Alrighty. I have noticed in 1.8 that there's a kind of a weird thing going on where the dividends are more than the cash reserve sometimes. As far as I understand, that's apparently working. Ooh, French mass migration. Apparently that's working as intended to prevent the upper strata from just rubber banding back and forth too much in their standard of living and getting really upset all the time. I can't give a full, like, opinion on whether I think that's functioning well or not. But it's a neat little thing that's there. Seminola Wars are over. We now have a dedicated police force. Fantastic. We could try to change our tax laws, but honestly, any other option at the moment is just going to give us less money instead of more. A welfare system wouldn't be bad. Do they all get food security? Hey, old age and poor laws does. I think wage subsidies does as well, but it's not showing anything for wage subsidies. That might be a slight bug. Extra food security is not bad, but I don't think our market is suffering any Okay, look, there's 3% mild starvation, but that's like over here. And in the flooded regions, that it'll be fine. Don't worry. It's only mild starvation. It's not famine levels. It's just, maybe we go let someone know that it's a problem and get back to it. Kind of problem. Speaking of which, we can actually go ahead and get the law enforcement up now to reduce radicals from political movements and reduce state turmoil, since it's now a dedicated law enforcement instead of local. Well, this tells you, like, exactly how many pops move now. And then 10% of those will die, or you can give money so only half of them die. Which is not bad. This coup is really making progress. At least iron is no longer expensive, so we can kind of get a few more of these construction techs going. The private investment pool doesn't have a lot of control right now because it lacks money. Yakut. Yeah, they're probably going to be pretty rebellious. I think we're just going to have to war them later down the line here. Which I expected as much, but at least their market is forcibly tied to ours, so they can't just, leave. Migration controls? No. No, no, no. We're going to let all these people come in. We want as many people as possible. The more people, the better. Even if it hurts us. You know what we really need to do next, though, is make paper. Lots of paper. We're importing paper right now, but we could easily use a lot more of it. Trail of Tears. Never a good moment. Ah, railways don't start subsidized anymore. I forgot about that. That is something to keep an eye on then. Really need to keep an eye on that one. So unsubsidized railroads means people are not working them. And that means we're not getting any of the actual construction that we would want. The abolitionist movement has turned militant. They are getting a lot of radicals for that movement. A lot of people are still below their expected minimum. Just barely. It's probably because of the high literacy plus taxes. Could drop taxes again just to mitigate it. Oh, I see. It adds 2.5 on its own. Ooh, that's a lot. Actually, could we just abdicate to this now? Resign from office. The ruler or the interest group must disapprove the enactment of slavery banned. Well, you are a slaver, so that part counts. Is insurrectionary. The ruler or the interest group must approve law enactment goals of the movement. Wouldn't you consider this insurrectionary? Ah, that is really, like, spread out. I mean, we'll see. Maybe they'll consider it insurrectionary and we can give in. Maybe it won't and we just kind of stare at it for a bit. Okay, we could... I mean, we may also get the iron company going. A couple of our iron companies producing more would be very helpful. And it took 5 of them in New York? That's not bad. It'd be better to have them than to not have them. Spanish mass migration. Minnesota's also finished colonizing. Should be around here. Yes. Start incorporating them so they'll benefit. Oh, I wasn't paying attention to the coup progress. Whoops. Well, I guess hereditary bureaucrats, really? You couldn't have kept the appointed? You had to, like, double it up? You don't even have enough power to make a contested government. I'm surprised most people are okay with this. There's, like, the abolitionists. What is happening? The abolitionist movement, like, lost a lot of its militancy. National discontent. A contingent of Afro-American people of Albania have openly condemned the new absolutist government of the United States as a threat to the Afro-American nation. Interesting. Yeah, so what's funny here is that the Southern planters can't even maintain a government on their own. Oh, but they would let us immediately switch to, like, landed voting or oligarchy. And if we switch towards... I mean, if we switch towards one of them, that would calm most people down in the end. Let's switch to oligarchy. We can make oligarchy work. We might be able to turn this around to our advantage, actually. The hereditary bureaucrat part really sucks, though, because now it means all of our government administrations are hiring aristocrats, which is kind of a pain, because I don't know if we even have enough aristocrats. We don't. So now I have an issue where all of my bureaucracy centers want aristocrats, and we can't have aristocrats because no one's qualified to be an aristocrat around here. We'll fix that later. We'll have to just deal with it for the time being until we can fix it. I do see we're running a high deficit now. Oh, we could have gotten a research bonus out of that. That's definitely because of all the discrimination going on here. Also, again, the investment pool is not really doing so great, but that's normal. That's par for the course. Yep, we'll be fine. Still at peace with you, are we? I think we are. Oh. Hey, English mass migration to Missouri. I will take it. We're getting a lot of people, at least. An awful lot of people very early on. But also a lot of discontent persons. A lot of discontent people. Ooh, you would be considered a second-class citizen. I mean, I don't want a market liberal. I'm just trying to think of how to better formulate a government. But I guess we'll just wait for oligarchy to finish. Defamatory article, we can suppress that. And we do actually need to switch one of these over now. We're making extra paper, so we should be fine. It's just the bureaucracy centers are no longer fully functioning, which is a little painful, but oh well, we'll deal with it. They're actually losing clout. Oh, right, because the Missouri Compromise no longer exists because there's no longer a voting system. They kind of nuked the voting system themselves, didn't they? Yep, they did. That's funny. I'd like to get chemical bleaching to make even more paper. In fact, are we using sulfite pulping? We are. That's good, at least. Yep, these are going to go red at first because technically there's not going to be enough demand. But that should resolve itself in time. So let's do... I'm trying to think if we want to get the... I feel like the economy rolling is what we really want. Because aren't we running into an issue with furniture and clothing expenses still? Furniture's at 20 price market-wide. That's at 9. Yeah, let's grab mechanized workshops, and then we'll start grabbing everything else over here. It'll give time for tech spread to finish over there as well, so that's not a bad thing. Oh, we don't have enough steel. I was not paying attention to our steel demand at all. I had no idea we had run out of steel. Solve that really quick. It's a good thing we actually have a level 3 dedicated police to combat some of this turmoil. I did not think we'd be going this way where we would get cooed. That was really not on the cards. Okay, we could go ahead and do the Manifest Destiny decision now. We won't suffer as much for it, and then we can bully Mexico later. There we go. It'll also make the southern planters less upset for a while. Not that they're upset to begin with. Oh, did this debate fail earlier? It did. So many events going on in the background that are just repeating because they keep happening. Yeah, it's just because we're kind of paying for all this right now, aren't we? And then the unrealized taxes are growing because of the growing bureaucratic problem. Because, again, there is just not people who could work it. So let's just switch them all over. That puts us at 22. So that kind of fixes the issue, but it kind of doesn't, because now we're right back to the issue where paper is very expensive. Bison hunting. Let's not for now. I don't need another war. Alrighty. The abolitionist movement is still militant, so that's kind of feeding this, but most of it is just standard of living issues from our taxation policies, which are now kind of just having a counteracted effect. But we'll just deal with it. Man, our paper cost, our paper demand really skyrocketed here, and I know why. It's just like, dang, that jumped fast. Foreign emulation. What succeeded in Mexico? Oligarchy. You know what? Sure, it's just the yeoman farmers. It'll be fine. It'll make this progress a little quicker. Our unaccepted government is just making things worse. You know what? Let's just promote Zachary Taylor a few times. Give them a temporary leg up just so it hits 50. Just to get this done and over with a bit sooner. Because I really need to solve problems here. Now, do we actually want to use canned meat at all? That is not the food industry. Oh, you're level 6 now. You are. Very cool. It says it would technically make things more profitable, presumably because grain is really expensive right now. It would let us run a lot of meat, and we've got plenty of livestock ranches. You know what, let's give it a shot. We'll do canned meat, and we'll take that as an excuse to get slaughterhouses going. Those should both be profitable now. After a few weeks for adjustment purposes. Liberal movement, free supporters, law enactment success chance. I will take it. Paper prices are finally coming down. Once it gets close to near zero, this should be a lot better. We are going to need wood now as well. Lots of radicals in the north. Can't imagine why. It's not like the government got couped or something. We're probably going to see a bit of rubber banding on our end when it comes to the economy for a bit now with how everything is. But yeah, how is the population growth at least? It's not bad. Sunni rights movement, so we do have some Sunni pops here now. I don't want to war Mexico for any territory just yet. We could do it, but with our current deficit spending, it might be better to just play it safe here. Just for a few years. We already have them as a subject anyway, so their economy is our economy. Let the journal entries close. Voice of the people, I will take it. It's a little extra assistance. We're starting to go negative in bureaucracy again, though. It's just because so... Not only are we doing all those constructions, so many people are migrating here in such little time. That's also creating that kind of problem. Costa Rica would be willing to join us. No, they will not. I didn't read the success chance there. That is okay. We will try again later. Eventually. We will eventually try again later. But if we could get oligarchy, it would make government establishment a bit easier. Vast sums of money. Yes, please. Get this done as soon as possible. And then we need to maybe raise taxes again. Or actually, we do have the authority now to add a new tax. And at this point, I need to stop suppressing the pro-slavery movement. We really do have just a taxation problem. There we are. There we go. We're back to the American flag as a presidential oligarchy. I was pointed out that I was kind of mispronouncing it here and there. The high taxes still are not letting this work. They do not have the authority because they're also the current president. Could you, like, maybe not be in charge and let someone else run the country? Thank you. Ethno state. Please, no. Anything but that, please. It's such a shame that we don't have appointed bureaucrats right now. I mean, I could put the petite bourgeoisie in power anyway. It would still be an unacceptable government. But at least we could try to repass appointed bureaucrats. Technically, we'd have a bureaucracy issue, but then the aristocrats would be gone, and that might make it easier to get rid of them. Keyword is might. I'm not sure if it would. Abraham Lincoln is around. Too bad he can't become president. Why not? Let's give it a shot. I mean, we don't really have much else to lose at this point. Because, yeah, the yeoman farmers would get upset too. If it was just the southern planters, I'd take the risk, except the pro-slavery movement would become militant, but what else is new? We'll go grab the appointed bureaucrats here. And then improve our economy a little more. And then we'll get pharmaceuticals, kind of roll that ball. At least our research speed is kind of at capacity. So that's not bad. Indian removal. I really can't afford to keep doing this, but okay, sure. Let's not weaken the petite bourgeoisie right now. I kind of need them, and the slight interest reduction they're providing is kind of helping. So we need to kind of let them keep their power at the moment here. For the moment. Do I need hardwood? Not yet. We could export hardwood. We could probably export hardwood to Britain, actually. And France. Awesome. Okay, we'll do that. Fabric is cheap as always. That's probably a good thing. And tobacco. We can't really export it further. What about liquor? Kind of. I guess to the Belgian market. The French are obsessed with wine, so that's not really going to go anywhere. Okay, the investment pool is kind of doing some construction here and there now, which is helpful. Sure. Anything to keep it going with a higher success chance. Cool, cool. Wow, the labor movement is pretty protestive as well. Ooh, interesting. Is this the abolitionists again? It is. I see it triggers at 75% now rather than 50%. I don't need another war. Even though it would make it the colonization faster. We really don't need another war. North Germans from Holstein. How lovely. Alright, so we're just kind of getting an export economy going now. I'd actually like to drop us to normal taxes to calm people down here. So we're probably not going to increase construction further. Ooh. Aren't you a subject of Britain? You are, but I'm just going to say yes anyway because it's funny to me. Uh-oh, what happened? It is now an illegitimate government, so if I want to keep going, we actually are going to have to drop taxes. So let's just drop taxes anyway, then. We probably need to do that regardless to calm things down. There's our public health care. And now, I guess we can move towards steel frames. It would only take 4 years. There's a lot of techs we could get now. Because we do need to get all the way to central planning if we want that command economy. That is going to take time. What are paper prices like? Because dropping paper prices further would help. Plus 14. We do have dye production, so I think it might be arguable to grab that really fast just because we're having problems. And I think, don't we need quinine to map the American frontier? We do. Let's grab paper, then grab quinine. That way, we're not running into just deficit land. And I know I shouldn't be paying all this for the Native Americans here, but I'm trying to minimize the death rate in multiple areas. It's not exactly easy. These will take a while to incorporate because they're not... Ooh, Flemish! From Belgium. Usually Belgium's getting the migrations, not sending people. I'll take it. I'm happy to take it. Oh, yes. Belgium is not having fun. Oh, wow. Yeah, I see the great power side of the Netherlands in the London conference. Opium. Oh, right. We own Mexico, don't we? Occitanian. We'll look into bullying Mexico later. When things are in a better situation. Trade agreement with Russia. Is that... I'm sorry, was that Napoleon? Emperor Napoleon is back. All right. Wallonians. Wow, Belgium is really having fun, I see. Well, the radicals have dropped a little. Not a lot, but they've dropped a little. At least it should stop literally everyone revolting against us. And I figured we'd get a couple of the wheat farms going now, just so we have at least some degree of food production. Some. Not a lot. Just, you know, a few here, a few there. So, are you having issues hiring? I see. Why are you paying no wages? Why are none of them paying wages? That's really weird. That's kind of another reason why people aren't happy, I guess. We're literally paying them destitute wages. I'm gonna need to get worker protection laws in power pretty quickly, apparently. I don't know what's going on in that department. We'll have to figure it out later. Yeah. Wyoming colonization is done. How nice. Contagious Disease Acts. Those are just inhumane laws. Finally! Because we have so few members, we can't really get much progress in the power block stuff, so it's going to take a long time to actually get any of this going. I'd love to grab food standardization because I really do like it. Freedom of movement would actually be fantastic as the U.S., though. Construction would help as well, just because we could construct more things. But honestly, let's get the research going. Even if it's just tech spread for now, it's 15% more tech spread. That's at least going to help us there. Counteract censorship. Just try to get technologies flowing a little faster. Okay, good. That's done. Do I still want the bourgeoisie in charge? Could we actually get slavery banned? Probably not, because then the pro-slavery movement, which is already upset, will just explode. Because there's so many radicals. Eek. Secret police. Yeah, here's what we'll do, just because I can't afford it. We'll kick them out to stabilize the government a little. Go ahead and try to pass public health care just to improve standard of living, so we can have higher taxes without them being as upset. Oh, hey, the trade union exists. Wow, cool. But then we're going to pass high taxes to stabilize the budget. And yes, I know that means people are going to get upset again. This is a fun roller coaster that we're going to keep playing for a while. I don't think it's going to stop anytime soon. But you know what? That's okay. Again, I have, maybe that's the company bug some people were talking about, is that these are not paying wages, like, at all. And I really don't have the money to, like, afford to just cover that at the moment. If we had the money, I'd just do it. But right now we, have other problems to attend to. On the bright side, I'm no longer seeing the farms freak out here and try to pay people, like, 50 ducats an annual wage at the start of the game. So that's a positive change that I'm seeing, at least. Used to be they tried to pay some insanely high wage over there in the Great Plains early on in the game, and it did not make any sense whatsoever. It was very weird. So I'm glad to see that is at least functioning much better now. Better police force would help us, but wow, is our population growing fast. Might hit our goal of 200 million very quickly at that rate. So many movements appearing. That might weaken the pro and slavery and abolitionist movements just indirectly, just by splitting them apart. This is the labor movement? Sure. America, Utah eruption. Are we sure that's... I'm sure it's fine. They should be fine. It's just Utah. They know what they got into. They'll be fine. A pacifist. Who do I upset if I say no? Industrialists? Pacifist. He would not support any movement, so he's kind of useless. Speaking of people, though. Yeoman farmers, do you have any generals? No. We do have a Democrat right now, though. Is there anyone else that we could utilize? Oh, there is a social democrat in the wilderness, which... Right, he's a historical character that appears early on in Germany. I forgot about that. Mathieu de la Drôme from France. He's right here as well. Those are options. Just trying to think of getting the yeoman farmers to not be pro-slavery here. But the main issue is that the current president is in power. That's the one who's a problem. And he won't resign from office, even though I'm pretty sure they do meet the qualification of insurrectionary. Maybe the insurrectionary progress has to be high. I could also just upset the Southern Planters, but I don't know who would take power after them. Like, would someone else take charge in this presidential oligarchy? Remains to be seen. Oh, they are at 75%. The American-British Fellowship? Sure. Why not yeoman farmers? Why not? The more, the merrier. We have enough dye for this, at least, to make paper cheaper, which immediately saves us several thousand in gold. Or money. I wish it was gold. That'd be so much better. I guess we could pretend it's gold, right? Who would tell us otherwise? The fact bureaucracy is in the negative again. It's partially because we own... Actually, no, we only own 119 buildings. This is just institutions and all the people that are just kind of flooding on in. Which is fine. The more people, the more stuff we have to play with, I guess. Could we just not take tax money? It would make it pass faster, but we're really in a pickle when it comes to finances right now. We did kind of push it with the construction that we were going with at the start, but we wanted to kind of get it rolling. Ooh, Britain's actually importing our tobacco. I'm glad someone is. It's pretty cheap with all the liquor that we produce. In our, you know, not paying at all food industries. Oh, wait, they're actually paying a wage now. 671. Okay, one of them's actually paying a wage now. Presumably because it kept trying to hire people and they kept saying no, and they eventually gave in. Like, okay, I guess we'll pay you this wage. Yes, pass it sooner, even though it upset the industrialists and made it less likely to pass. I know we could deal with the, like, slavery question, or we could just try to pass healthcare. I never said I was good at this. Mexico's going down at least. I would like to have it all annexed, but we're probably gonna, like, actually annex all of Mexico. Like, just the whole thing. Ah, Bolivia actually exists despite... Wow, it actually exists despite all those wars that happened? I'm surprised. How did this manage to hold? I really wish we had paid attention to that. I'm impressed they were able to hold. I don't want to take that legitimacy hit. We're already riding on the verge of it falling in. Can I make you a protectorate? That'd be awesome. I mean, who's gonna tell me no? A lot of people could tell me no. Brazil's still a minor power. We could make them a protector of 42. Jeez. Maybe we just go bully Mexico at this point for Texas. Just, or we could just reduce our autonomy. For 60 though, that's a lot. Oh right, they're amicable now, so they can't. Yeah. Fair enough. Fair enough. All right. Let's give them knowledge sharing. That will make their liberty desire drop faster. This is probably not the optimal way to do it. It's just the way I'm doing it. What if we take Cuba from Spain? They technically have a larger navy right now. That probably doesn't matter. Jeez, I saw Russian mass migration in that mix, along with Swedish, and a flood. So we're having a good time. Why are there flooding issues? Why are Russians mass migrating, actually? That's a good question. It can't be because of the Sunni rights protest. That's not big enough. I'm surprised, actually. Are the Russians actually having a bit of a turmoil issue? Worldwide turmoil, 19%. They are. They're actually having some turmoil problems. Oh, their standard of living has been dropping. Okay. Okay. Oh, this public health insurance is not going well. I thought we could just make an easy pass for it. With the labor movement's support. In fact... Well, like I said, it's at 10%. That's not bad. We have quinine now. That's good. Arguably, at this point, we should start getting the level 3 laws going. We could do that or get the level 3 economy laws. I think we're ahead of time on both. Well, the organized sports is still going there. I really want to get the labor laws going. Not the labor laws, but the socialist stuff going as soon as possible to move closer to the command economy. Oh, but some of these level 3 techs are very good, like improved fertilizer. Will let us make more fertilizer from iron and then just make more grain, so grain isn't at plus 20%. But steel frames would be very good for construction in the long run. It would also make the floods slightly less damaging. Only by 5%, but that's 5% less of an impact. Modern sewage is already dropping that by 10. I mean, we could research socialism, get it by 1854, and then go for steel frames. Let's do that. We'll go ahead and do it that way. Why not? Why not? And these people will not come down. It's mostly the standard of living issue, because it's like it's just low enough for most of them. And then it doesn't help that the groceries have, for whatever reason, decided they're just not going to pay good wages. I don't know why that's happening, but it's definitely causing additional problems unrelated to our usual problems. Which, you know, it's fine. We'll deal with it. We'll find a way to deal with it. We're just going to have to deal with it. Acquiesce to their demands. The bill must pass. Upsets the trade union a little, but, well, I gotta upset somebody to get this done, right? Heat wave. I can't tell if we're loved or hated. You know what? The English are coming. That's all I need to know. They're coming to Arkansas, even though Arkansas is suffering from a flood. How many negative harvest conditions can we get in a year? There's hail, there's a flood, there's a heat wave, there's torrential rains. I mean, West Virginia is suffering 2 separate conditions at the same time. I don't know if its infrastructure systems are even functional at this point. What is happening? Who did I anger? Oh my goodness. Alright, well. Hopefully nothing else will happen for a little bit here. Just long enough for us to, like, get things going. God, I'd love to run very high taxes and get more construction flowing. I really would. Standard of living is dropping because grain prices have gone back up because, you know, the heat wave and the flood and all that, yeah. Turns out that really disrupts the harvest. Yeah, minus 23, jeez. Let's check really quick. Maybe there's other places we can import grain from. Yeah. I guess there is always Qing. We could put an interest over there. Speaking of interests, we actually can put quite a bit down. And our market does connect to the Pacific side now, which is good. And the Mexican opinion is improved. They're just only defiant now instead of rebellious. I don't know how that makes this any better. I guess it just does. 61.6. At that point, I'd rather just seize the territory normally. We really are kind of long gaming it there. Honduras is a subject. No one would really stop us. We might as well. We're at 0 infamy. You know, like, there's just not much of a reason not to at this point. I don't know if I want the industrialists to have more power, but I need someone to be in charge here. Like, you know, someone's got to be in charge of this. And it's not going to be me. Man, our bureaucracy is just bleeding. I'm trying to get these more farms going to make local grain, but also to get the peasants to no longer be peasants to make the economy go faster. We're being flooded with so many people, I can't keep up with it. On top of our own internal problems. I'm not gonna say it's a nightmare, but it's a doozy, that's for sure. Oh god. And now we're about to pass healthcare. I mean, geez, what is happening? Romanian mass migration. I mean, 200 million pops might be a low ball to aim for at this point. I thought it was going to take us a bit to get there, but no, we might hit it very easily at this rate. I mean, we've been in this for less than 2 decades, and the population's nearly doubled. We don't even have a healthcare system. All the new farms are good, though. It's like 200,000-ish people. Oh, I really don't want to fail it this close to it, though. Take the hit. Food prices are at +6 now. Food security's fine, so no one's starving at least. it's just so many trumpets. They really don't stop coming. I'm glad that they love our country so much, but please, give us a minute. I don't have the bureaucracy to count everyone. And now we have public health insurance. Well, at least we have that going for us. Oh, are you really having expensive tastes? You know what's funny? I can kick your southern planters out. And I don't know if you resigning from office will change anything, but we're going to make an attempt to see if it will. We might need to reinstate a voting system just to reestablish some stability. Let's... Don't think it would work at all. I genuinely do not think that would work. Let's try to do slavery banned, upset them, and then resign from office. Who takes power? Abraham Lincoln. Okay, that's good. That's good, because that means now I can not suffer. He's ruthless. That means we can stop suffering from expensive tastes, which is nice. I don't think the slavery ban will actually pass. I'm pretty sure that the pro-slavery movement here will... Yeah, predicted activism is 100, making civil war imminent. It's probably well over 100, because, yeah, plus 75 from just trying to enact it. Plus 20 from slavery debate. So unless a lot of people were loyalists, this would not pass. So I think after that, we are just going to stop enacting it. Because at least now the southern planters are not in power. Which at least, it means we can maybe have a somewhat functioning government. I don't think landed voting would really help us in the long run, mind you. I mean, we could do wealth voting. The southern planters wouldn't like it. It would somewhat put us back where we started. It's not the authoritarian law we need, though, but we're really kind of bleeding when it comes to legitimacy. I mean, we could just keep it where it is. There's no reason not to. We at least have a contested government now, and the southern planters, until very recently, have been kind of suffering. And I mean, our finances are not that bad now. I mean, they're bleeding because our bureaucracy is at 1K, but once that solves itself, we should be better off. Because I think our tax waste is... Well, I mean, it is still nominally because a lot of people are upset with us here. Hey, socialism! We researched the Communist Manifesto. Why not? Let's, A communist agitator appears in exile. Let's say we have nothing to lose but our chains. Who appears? Hang on. Where is the trade union? There it is. Karl Heinrich Marx. Who is an atheist. Oh! Ashkenazi. Ashkenazi. I might be mispronouncing that. I've never really said it before. Very cool. Does that mean the English national movement? Are they here to take it back? I don't know if this means that we'll get the... I don't think we get the movement to appear until later. But we'll kind of see. I mean, agitators for communism could actually appear now. Ooh, positivist. You're Afro-Caribbean. English national movement, Protestant movement. It's a lot of movements to enjoy. Namely, the liberal movement is what I'm seeing for, like, all of them. If the yeoman farmers were granted someone of similar ideas, like a radical, maybe it would improve this. What are they bleeding on when it comes to ideological incompatibility? Just policing and citizenship? I don't think I really have a solution to that then. I don't think radicals care about citizenship laws, do they? No. Abolitionists would care about ending slavery, but that's not really a sticking point between the two of them. The two main interest groups, that is. Orleans are going to have to handle the organized crime because I can't. I do not have the money. Argentina does not want to become our subject. Oh, right. We started a war, didn't we? This is why I shouldn't be in charge. I can't even remember when we start wars. I'd be the one to start a war and then forget that we had a war going on to begin with. Alright, let's just raise some conscripts at this point. Scottish mass migration, Flemish mass migration. Our financial situation is slowly recovering, but I can't help but notice that it's thank you for the investment right offer, France, or like the mutual investments idea, but we are fine. We don't need French money, maybe. Oppressor and oppressed, a storm approaches. Right, the specter haunting the world. How is that going? It's actually going very slowly, like incredibly slowly. Is that because yes, the socialist movement has appeared, which will make communists and social democrats more likely. I don't think it'll go very high because of all the other movements that are active right now. But we'll see. It might gain support over time, and oh, its activism matters too? What is its activism going towards then? Protesting! Hey, you know what? Maybe we'll be getting some interesting communization of the country very quickly. Democrat agitator that supports the liberal movement is gone. The industrial tunnel led by a abolitionist. I'm so sorry. There's so much going on. I cannot keep up with it. On the bright side, our interest is coming down. We still can't lower taxes, but I want to say this is going well. The only sticking point is that our whole situation with Mexico is nowhere near resolved. But at least we're not dying terribly. Are any of you an explorer? I see one of you are. Let's send the explorer, the admiral. We did take Honduras. Excellent. Again, I'm not paying attention. I really shouldn't be in charge of warfare. Oh, that's weird. I didn't notice this. Spain annexed Haiti, gave Cuba half of it, and took the other half for itself. Oh man, if we yoink Cuba, that would be so nice. Venezuela might join, but otherwise no one would really join. Does anyone want to be our ally? Not really. What is happening in the world, actually? The Raj hasn't collapsed. Qing is suffering its usual opium war defeat? Okay. Weird thing. Britain did do the opium war, but it didn't end it for China. China somehow won anyway, so something's not registering there. And then the Han got obsessed with liquor. Excuse me, just just gonna put us on the map over there for a bit. I think we're going to make a lot of liquor this game. Okay. Interesting. In fact, let me just... Oh, and the Manchu got a tea obsession. Interesting. We're just gonna take a quick screenshot of that. And just send it to the Victoria 3 Discord, which I am an active participant in. Yankee Dixie didn't get anything, right? I didn't see anything. Okay, good. Let's keep going. Now, this is a dumb idea, but what if we got more construction? Heed the warning. Snow clears. Great news. Oh, they finally have a Expedition Peril progress bar as well. Thank goodness. You always had to kind of guesstimate how far along that you were. Now you don't. Yay, safe crossing. I'm very glad that it works like this now. Very, very glad that you also have the peril bar. I do think it should have been there much sooner, but I'm happy that it's there at all. Mountainside issues. Well, at least we tried. Oh, they're agitating. They're becoming militant. Our standard of living is low. So that means Spectre Haunting the World will definitely finish, because, yeah, now it's at 3 per month. And at this rate, it will definitely finish. Let's reduce the peril. Miracle of life. Let us take care of the baby. Yeah, getting back to a point of bureaucrats is really helping. So the whole slavery thing, we'll try to solve that at some point. Yes, build the fort. So, when you're doing the American exploration path, I'm sorry that I'm clicking through it so quickly. You have to do this 3 times, and then you can get an event to get Columbia, what's going to be Oregon, or Washington, Oregon, and Idaho. There's now naming systems in the game, so now this is named Southern Columbia, which is cool, because now it's Northern Columbia. Now it's instead of Northern Columbia and Washington, it's Northern Columbia, Southern Columbia. It makes more sense. Go hunt the bear. We failed to hunt the bear. I am terrible at hunting. Why did I think this was a good idea? Socialist movement, sure. A defense pact with Britain. Let's actually say no, because if Russia gets upset, they won't sell us Alaska. And I want to buy Alaska from them. I'd like to buy Alaska. Is Brazil a major power now? They are. We could make an alliance with Brazil, use them to yoink Peru before someone yoinks Peru into their power block. Just, like, start taking over the Americas. Wait for nightfall. Because at least then with Brazil as an ally, we could utilize them that way. Oh, has their monarchy fallen? He's been replaced, but it's still in business. They do have slave trade. That is something to note. I'm guessing they have the renewed African cycle. Yeah, that. Oh boy. I don't know if they're actively importing at the moment. They probably aren't. But yeah. It might be worth an alliance with Brazil. Yeah, why not? Because then we can use that to try to yoink them into various fights. Because Peru... Yeah, because now they're at minus 17, they would probably join us. They actually might not join. But let's do it anyway. I think I could sway them. Ah, French mass migration. Good to know our situation on the political scene hasn't upset them in any way. Ecuador joining actually pushed Brazil to join us. Let's just call ally. Call them in. Conscript only one force. We'll just march on in. And just because they're in, we might as well yoink Ecuador. Just to yoink them. Because, you know, they're there. We might as well. Oh, this construction speed. It's not bad, but I feel like I'm suffering for it. Could be using nitroglycerin. I know we haven't been because we managed to make things cheap finally. In fact, what are our trade routes like? I haven't paid attention. Importing lots of clothes makes sense. Exports. Because I was going to say, I think we're just kind of bleeding money on our iron now. I do kind of want to try to export tobacco. Well, I guess exporting to France is irrelevant. We don't need paper imports anymore. We don't need the grain imports anymore. Don't need shares. There we go. That'll just kind of make it more efficient. Hopelessly lost. Oh, geez, this might fail. Peru Bolivia backs down. Okay, I'll take it. We don't get Ecuador then, but if I don't have to fight a war, that makes this easy. And that'll just help us get the mandate progress, because now we have another power in the Union. Speaking of which, why don't we go down the chain here? Actually, I mean, we'll stay below 25 infamy just so we can keep getting Mexico's liberty desired down here. I wish it was going down faster. I guess we should... I guess can't... No. Let's start funding lobbies. Let's try to get rid of that anti-American lobby there. It's got a lot of clout. Failed expedition. Ah. Oh, well, that's fine. We did get the fort built, so I would say it was still rather successful, mostly because the fort was constructed. Because now any future expedition can run into that fort and utilize the fort. That will be very useful. God, we have so many people now. Normally I'd be thinking about getting feminism at this point, but normally I'm not this high in population this early, which is really impressive to me. God, do we work on the economy now? I would love to get central planning as soon as possible, so we really arguably should be working over here. I mean, mutual funds to investment banks for a third company is never a terrible idea. Could even get the investment pool running a little bit better. Although I think it's finally... Yes, it is finally stable. With our current level, at least. I mean, we could just do the early push the women's rights anyway. Compulsory primary school. Would be awesome to get rid of child labor. Not that we've been in a good position to do any of it. Yeah. Wow, wait. The yeoman farmers are a part of this? Is that because of the pressure that's on them? It must be because of the pressure that's on them. They're only slightly affected by it right now, but I guess there's still pressure anyway. Interesting. I mean, we could try to enact something that the movement wants. Regulatory bodies is never a bad idea. Oh, I see the tooltip's bugged for this, too. It should be saying that it would reduce casualties. That's not. Interesting. Yeah, Council Republic's not happening anytime soon. Good luck with that. Worker protections needs human rights, which makes sense. Makes a lot of sense when you think about it. I don't know. Let's figure out the technology first. We probably will push towards feminism. I would love to get something like mutual funds, too, just for the minting and the slight reduction in interest rate. It's not much, but it would help. Because if we gun straight for central planning, we're just spending 10 years on it, and that's not really worth it. I know we need to get political agitation, though, so we can get vanguardists, so we do need to get that going. Let's get improved fertilizer and steel railway cars, though, just to get the economy rolling better. That is going to be important. Well, we want fertilizer for grain, because that'll make it easier to make food as well. Just because grain is still going to be one of the main costs alongside sugar for the food industries here. And then we're going to want the other option, steel railway cars, just so another Russian mass migration, just so our infrastructure projects are more efficient, just so infrastructure runs better. Oh, there's so many people. French people. I love how that reads. So this is interesting. We could get wage subsidies. We could put the last slavers out of their misery. That would make it instant, so I don't know how that would go. Or get regulatory bodies. Let's just put out slavery. Let's just see how that goes. Slavery ban. Does the pro-slavery movement stick around, or does it just die? It looks like it sticks around. It looks like it's going to try to reinforce it there. But I noticed that the southern planters are not going to... Well, I mean, they have a slaver. God darn it. Oh, wait, no, he's an exiled agitator. They have a market liberal now. Good. So... that might actually weaken the pro-slavery movement. Yes, yes. Over time, the support of this movement is expected to change to 0%. Okay. Okay. Whew. Wow. Wow. That'll be fine then. That means it's gonna die out over time. All right. Well, at least means we no longer have slaves, which is nice. I don't know if that will really calm many down. Ooh, Susan Anthony has appeared. The guaranteed feminist, even though we don't have feminism researched yet. Not against it, just, you know, it's a little weird. Evangelical moderate resigns and is replaced with an evangelical moderate. So it is still ticking towards that civil war, though. We might be at risk. Oof, wow, that's a lot of people. But the fact that it's ticking downward is good, at least. And I know that slavery being banned is something... Less than 50% of barracks levels being located in slave states. Oh, because technically there are no slave states now. And the current ruler opposes slavery. Isn't this kind of guaranteed to trigger then? Because 50, 75, 95. Yeah, this is guaranteed to trigger then, unless the movement vanishes entirely. So I might have to fight it, but it might just be like one state splits away, kind of fight it. And in a situation like that... Wow, no, that's a lot more than I would think. I mean, it's drifting towards 0, so eventually it'll be gone. This is an interesting little situation, actually, to kind of experiment with it. I don't know how much experimentation with it has been done yet. But we'll see how it goes. I may have to fight it anyway, so we may have a civil war no matter what. Because this kind of means, in a situation like that, with how the math adds up here, you're kind of guaranteed to have a civil war. Unless a lot of people are loyalists, which, you know, evidently they're not. I will try to lower taxes and see if we can't just put the fire out in at least half of the states. Not all of it, but at least most of it. We'll see. It probably won't do anything. But we can give it a shot since we have money. I do think it's going to trigger no matter what. The only way I could temporarily delay it would be to try to start enacting slavery again, but that would just be kind of... You know what? Let's like, quote-unquote, do it. Let the fire die out. And then just... Yeah, well, this is a bit gamey, but to be... It is gamey of me to do that, but to be fair, I literally cannot meet the requirements for the barracks and naval bases now because there are no slave states. Slave states do not exist anymore. So, you know, to be fair, I'm gaming it because I'm having to counter the game trying to game me. I don't know what's going on. Ooh, new mandate. It's every 6 years now. Cool. Let's reduce our ahead of time penalty. That only works if it's actually ahead of time, but that does mean this one now only takes 7 years instead of 10. Very fun. We actually need more universities again. And maybe the Statue of Liberty, just because. Even though we cannot withstand all the incoming mass migrations. Goodness gracious! I'm happy to get this many pops, but my god. It's like they don't have anywhere better to go. They probably don't, but, you know. Whew. Do we want to use explosives? I guess we should use explosives. Maybe we should. We'll see. We actually have bureaucracy now. So we can actually start getting these going, which we probably shouldn't, but higher law enforcement would reduce the radical negatives that we're suffering from. Okay, so we've avoided the Civil War entirely at this point. They have vanished from the face of the earth. A man in demand. They want Zachary Taylor. Sure, if that pays my obligation, go nuts. Have at it. I will not complain in the slightest. Alright, let's start getting a few more construction sectors switched over. I know we can't fully afford the expense, but we've avoided the worst case Civil War possibility. I know the socialist movement is kind of being a bit of a threat too, but I wouldn't worry as much about that. We really should kind of build up the regular army now, though. Moderate Jacksonian. Dang, we still get Jacksonian Democrats, or is it just because he's old? Might just be because he's old. Just gonna kind of recruit a couple random folks here, get them in the army. And then the army really does need to be kind of increased a bit when it comes to its standard bearers. Sure, we can recruit a bunch of random folks from the street, but we really should get a standard army too, so we don't have to conscript half the population to fight every war we come across. Alright. Just kind of improve relations with them a little. We could give them another obligation for that. Why not? If we can yoink them into the power block, even though they're not our subject, that would be great. Or at least establish our power block embassy there to make sure that... Ooh, Koreans. To make sure no one else ropes them. No. Strike wave. Ooh, for 2 years? Or we get 50 for 2 years? I guess give the trade union what they want. Oh, that's the Southern Planters. This is the trade union. We're currently doing work to rule. Oh, they're doing work to rule on us. Well, that's a little painful now, isn't it? We're researching steel railway cars at the moment. I guess we could try to pass regulatory bodies then. Anything to get work to rule to deactivate, because work to rule causes state construction efficiency at -10, so adding that on with the radicals is not fun. How are the Koreans here? I'm a little curious. The base acceptance is 10, and then it should be plus 15 from religion, so eventually they'll be at cultural erasure, which is still not great, but it's not as bad. We can get to cultural exclusion. That would help a little. Oh, good. We can actually speed it up in Pennsylvania. I do see our debt is getting pretty high. Again, well, not too high, but kind of one of those I'm kind of watching it things now. And what the heck? We'll increase our healthcare system because why not? Oh, paper's expensive. And I know this is going to add more expense if I upgrade these. But if we can get construction going faster and get the paper done sooner, that'd be great. There's so many people flooding in now. Let's get an interest in France. An interest in Egypt, maybe? Not sure, actually. An interest in Persia, in case Persia has a civil... I didn't notice that Britain had annexed like half of Persia. That sucks. I was actually planning to eventually go into Persia to get to Baku for the oil there. Because there's a ton of oil. Oh, I was thinking of maybe eventually fighting Britain for Canada. We might definitely fight Britain now. Because they're denying me access to my oil. I can't have that. Britain always seems to go ham in these games, but that's not very surprising. I have no idea what happened in China, though. It has to have been some kind of bug where it didn't quite read it right. Hey, realism. I don't know how real it actually is, though. Strike breakers. Could arrest them for assault. Might as well. So the trade union doesn't get upset again later. Even though they'll probably be upset later. New Brunswick, why not? Speaking of which, I do need to raise taxes again to stop that from bleeding, but we're in a better position now. We could actually add the industrialists, who would give us colonial exploitation that we could then use to start colonizing in Africa. It would upset the rural folk a lot, though, because we're on frontier colonization, and they would prefer it to stay that way. What would they offer us, aside from voting systems? We do need to maybe eventually think about single-party state. But that's kind of late game. Aside from that, not much. And I think the evangelicals are kind of, you know, they're here. It's whatever. What about the trade union? I assume they don't really have the cloud to actually maintain enough power. Not yet. We could just keep it as it is, I suppose. Oh, right, research. I forgot. I'm sorry. No, not the research. No. Okay, let's research towards feminism, I suppose. We'll make progress towards central planning by getting the progress elsewhere. So I'll take a total of 6 years at our current rate. Austria suddenly does not like us. And Prussia tried to do the Brothers' War and got jumped. Oh, they went for Bohemia first, so yeah, okay. Have fun with that. Scottish mass migration. I'm just gonna, actually, yeah, we will rival. We'll counter that rivalry so we have the influence to spend. That would be nice. Be nice to have. Opposition member puts forth demands. We will take it for the success chance. I would like to get Mexico as a puppet first, even though Honduras could be made into a puppet. Can we yoink Nicaragua? We could. Could we yoink Cuba? We could. No one would really join to help Spain. It's just Spain's flotilla that I'm slightly worried about. I mean, not really. Their flotillas are probably split apart. Ours are probably together. But let's get a few shipyards built anyway, just in case before we do it. So we'll go for Nicaragua for now, since we have pretty much no infamy left. Now we're kind of utilizing our infamy. Okay, I do see that our bureaucracy is falling rapidly. Unsurprising. Another... That's like the third English mass migration I've seen this game that I've noticed. It's been going off so often, I've just been clearing it at this point, because it's like, it's too much to read. This is usually supposed to happen later on, not right now. The Scottish are coming as well, Norwegians, Russian Tartars. Whew. Well, at least we'll have plenty of people to work with. Regulatory bodies just failed straight up. Oh, that's sad. Oh, no one even sided with Nicaragua. No one came to help. And I actually noticed we were at war this time. We do need more steel, but that's a good thing. It's a good sign. It means that we're actually using up our steel. Pennsylvania is no longer suffering from turmoil. That is fantastic news. In fact, I see that our iron has gotten very cheap. In fact, can we export our steel and our iron? Well, that would be fun. Now, people would absolutely buy it up. How is our export pricing of liquor going? Probably not great. 268, level 10. I'll take it. We're importing like 2,000 basic clothes from Britain. Like half our clothing is from Britain. We really should, if we're planning to go to war against Britain eventually, we really should make more clothing for ourselves. And I assume the food industries are still paying terrible wages. One of them isn't. One of them is about to run out of glass, but, you know, that's unrelated. We'll get a few emergency constructions going. Oh, right, because we're using it all for construction, aren't we? Yeah, that makes sense. Untrained hands, keep them off the factory floors. I think we're making really good progress for this so far. We're already in the 1860s. Failed, I saw that. Failed naval invasion. You disappoint me. Alright, get ready to send in the next troops then. Oh, I'm not on pause. We'll just send in the next group that's more equipped. Oh yeah, they dropped to 4. Nice. We might fail initially, though. I'm surprised the defenses are this high. Oh, they're using just dragoons. Okay, I see. Fair enough. So we just need to add more bodies to the equation, is what you're telling me. There are so many mass migrations from Russia. What is happening over here? Oh, the peasant movement is protesting, and that's actually a good 11% of the country. It's not too much, but their Orthodox traditionalist movement is also agitating. Yeah, they've got like a decent chunk of radicals going on over here. I know we noted that their standard of living had fallen before. I didn't realize how bad it had become, though. Very interesting. We haven't really been doing it because I was focused elsewhere. Can we not map the western frontier? Oh, we're not at peace. Now, that would probably be why I haven't noticed it. We really do need to try to get through this. I want someone who is... I'm sorry, what was that trait? Oh, that's new. That's like 1.8 new. This character possesses refined aesthetic sensibilities and a great interest in the fine arts. Cool. None of you are explorers, so I'm just gonna send the guy who likes fine art. And they found plants immediately. See, we sent the right person for the job. He just already knew where to look. And they just started. We're at 47 million people already. Goodness. Explorer's life for me. Let's just... that. Human rights have been unlocked. Clothes are expensive-ish. Not really expensive, but, you know, the pricing is there. And we are now fully utilizing steel frames. Another Russian mass migration. Seriously, what is happening in Russia? It's like a revolution is brewing over there already. Not really, but it's just funny how quickly we're getting them. 18 months and we can get Advanced Research 3. That would be great, actually. Famous cafe. Who are you inviting? Charles Dickens. I'll take it. I'll take it. In fact, I can't grant you leadership. Why not? This interest group is... oh, the political movement has to be pressured by the... oh, okay, so the political movement has to pressure the interest group before they can become in charge. I kind of like that, because it means you can't just put anyone in charge whenever you want. They actually need to pressure the movement and have some kind of clout over them. Socialist movement has been kind of becoming less and less relevant over time, I've noticed. The liberal movement kind of has the upper hand in things. Use of weapons? Automatic machine guns. Okay, sure, sure. Oh, is Mexico on the verge of civil war? Kind of. It's kind of on the verge of civil war. Honduras and Nicaragua may join them, and they're both my subjects. That's fine. I can utilize that to my advantage. If they join. Mexico is now aloof. They've finally decided they don't want to revolt anymore. A lot of people usually have, like, this area of Mexico annexed already, but I do like the idea of making them a subject and playing the long game here. We'll get them done sooner or later. We have a better standing army now as well. Found gold in Colorado. Fantastic. Time to forget about it. And then wonder later where all the gold is. When it's inevitably stolen right from under our noses. Okay, our relationship with Peru-Bolivia is high enough now. Just wanted to get it up there so they wouldn't be too disloyal. A little disloyalty is fine, but, you know, too much disloyalty, that's... I draw the line there. Can we take New Granada while we're at it? 18.1. France would join. Alliance. Okay, so maybe we ignore them. What about Venezuela? Ecuador, Denmark, Peru would side with us. Argentina. No one of like concern would join. Like no big power is likely to join. So we'll probably be okay. We got all these ships built, so we'll be better. Ooh, optimal sunlight. A harvest condition that won't chuck a part of the economy down the drain. Denmark has actually sided with Venezuela. We will proceed with complete and total ignorance. Actually, we could seize Greenland for the fun of it. There's absolutely, practically nothing of value in seizing Greenland. It would just be funny. Iceland does have sulfur mines. 20 sulfur mines. Oh, we're in the war phase already. They joined at like the last moment, I guess. That's fine. Time to invade. A bear! Hunt it! This failed again. I need to stop hunting bears. It does not work out for me. We're at 50 million people already. Goodness. Oh my god. This... I hope it's not as loud for anyone that's listening. Because, wow, are we getting a lot of people here. Oh my god! I knew we shouldn't have built that Statue of Liberty. Ah, why did we build the Statue of Liberty? Do you see all the people that have, come on in to say hi? Okay, Jason to so many. What is our culture map? We're like 30% Yankee, 13% Dixie. Oh my goodness. Almost 4% of the population are Russian. Oh, sorry, not the population map mode. I want cultures. That's still population. It's bugging out on me. Okay, hang on. Sometimes it gets stuck like that. There we go. There we go. That's what I wanted to see. Turkish. Mexican. Carabino. Yep. Okay. I was just curious how that looked. Ukrainian mass migration to Pennsylvania. No, and I'm gonna add the rural folk to government just to prevent it from falling here. Is this a peasant revolt? Reactionary revolt. This is all variant. Are they just like a regular member of it? Yeah. Oh, if the reactionary revolt was willing to become our subject, I'd grab it in a heartbeat. Okay, so our bureaucracy has gone deep in the red again, so I do need to kind of switch back over to that really quick, because we have so many unrealized taxes from that now. We're still trying to pass regulatory bodies. We might get it, though. But the labor movement is not really as relevant now. Raton mass migration. Failed naval invasion. That is a little unfortunate. But we wiped out half the army, so if we just mobilize the other group now and send it in, should be fine. Yes, the fort coming in handy, reducing peril and increasing progress. Yep, there we go. We'll be fine now because of the population difference. And Advanced Research 3 is great because not only will the bureaucratic cost of education drop, it will give us maximum innovation investment per education level. So that's another 30 innovation cap we have, which is why I wanted to queue up some universities to construct, but I think we're having other factors that need to be resolved first, and then we'll get that done. Regulatory bodies is done, and we have researched feminism. We are now researching towards our third company for use. And the French are coming again. Very good. Might fail that invasion too, but we'll be fine. Because they're as long as their manpower stays low and the other one's good to go, we'll be fine. It just might take some lives. to get it done. Oh, you know what I just remembered, and I'm pretty sure people have been yelling at it. Yeah, I never got extra supplies, did I? Or first aid. You know, it'd be a lot easier to win wars if we had first aid and extra supplies. You know, the things that are sitting that I never used until 1863, I cannot claim to be good at this game at this rate. This is a nightmare. Denmark left, though, so it's less of a nightmare now. Denmark's gone. It's okay. Denmark can't hurt us anymore. And Luxembourg is now being annexed by Prussia. Very cool. I think. Oh, God, France did join, yeah. Ooh. That's funny. We have no reason to get involved, though, especially with our rising expenses. Work to rule is active again, but we passed what you wanted. Oh, I guess they have a lot of things to be upset about, don't they? Yeah. We could grab poor laws, wage subsidies, migration controls. Technically, worker protections is a thing we can grab later now, but obviously we don't have the, movement support to actually enact it. Oh, this went back up to 7? Or was it always at 7? It might have slipped down to 7. I wasn't paying attention. That is okay, though. We are just going to ignore it for now. Okay, let's cancel this invasion and get the larger group back in, since it's ready to go. Golden California. We can almost make Mexico a puppet. Yeah, this should work better now that we also take less death casualties, because, you know, we have first aid now and very slightly higher offense. Oh, God, I can't believe I messed that up so badly. I swear this is just migration sounds the game right now. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but goodness, prepare yourself for it if you ever play the US in this patch. Because it's just going to keep happening. Peaceful intentions. Provisions because we have a baby. Oregon Trail. We now as Explorer, and we will now do... Oh! I thought we had to explore it 3 times. Has Britain finished the first 2? Britain must have finished the first 2. Or someone did. I don't know who. The Great Reformer. The Age of Caudulios. 400% political strength of officers? Ooh. Okay. Let's see. Idaho becomes Yankee Homeland. Yankee Homeland. Very nice. Very, very nice. We'll have to incorporate this area as soon as we resolve the bureaucracy. We still have a bureaucracy problem. I just realized. You know what? It's fine. It's fine. We'll be fine. Not that bad. Start taxing coffee, too. Well, Mexico is formerly led by a junta, and it is now our junta puppet. Ah, that looks so much better, don't you think? And then near 20k they're paying us per week. I like that color. It looks so much better. Venezuela really is resisting us here. I must say, you know, good on them for their resistance. Although it looks like they are losing now. That is good. Very good. I'm glad. And yes, I know I was complaining about not having money, but what if we just built more construction anyway? I think that would just be the greatest thing. Oh boy. Did we ever get rid of that bankroll? Or where are there... It's still resisting us, but at this point I don't think it matters as much. I mean, I suppose it does, but at this point I need to stop funding lobbies. I need to get the money back. We can exempt them from service, though, to drop their liberty desire. Yeah, that'll work. Idaho's finished colonizing. Venezuela is now a subject. Work to rule deactivated on the trade union. We're getting somewhere. People are still upset. So we're kind of getting somewhere. With a lot of upset people. Million. We're already growing at 1,000,000 by 1865. I love it. Alrighty. Our research is proceeding along very smoothly, too. Ooh, Zeppelins in 3 years. Now we really knocked down the price. Helps that things have been spreading to us, too, technologically. Although we are kind of ahead on things here. Maybe we should think about using explosives. I know I haven't been using them. It's partially because nitroglycerin is going to, you know, end people. And it's partially because things are cheap. So I haven't really thought about it. How much of the liquor do we export? About a third of it. Cool. Very cool. 4th American Army. How about we just combine you into the Army of Observation? Although we really should get a 4th Army around so we have more units to spread out. At the very least, this means Mexico can't... Well, I mean, Mexico could still join people and resist us, but they no longer get the alliances that they could run with to oppose us. Man, it feels like every time I've got enough paper, I have to build a bunch of bureaucratic centers because the population just boomed. And now I have to get more paper. Maybe the next company we get should be the paper company instead of coal and iron. Or coal and sulfur. At the rate this is going, that might be a decent idea. I see China is at war to help Tibet, and that's kind of it. Tibet is probably just going to be murdered, but... What happened? Okay, there must have been, like, a Greek uprising that won against the Ottoman Empire. Because that is a big Greece, and it's in the power block of Russia. Interesting. And is Prussia going for it again? It's going for round 2. It's going for round 2. Have fun with that, Russia. Or Prussia. I don't think they will, but, you know. I'm going to wish them good luck anyway. We'll grab this. It's partially to get the fertilizer bonus, but I also like giving the resource bonuses. 10% bureaucracy would probably really come in handy right now, though. But we'll go with this. It's going to take 5 coal mines. Probably the ones in Virginia, it looks like. Yep. Fine by me. And then at this rate, we could get the command economy. I mean, we may as well do it this way and then get Zeppelins. That way the Zeppelin cost is slightly down. And let pan-nationalism finish, too. Problem is that we're not really politically in a position to actually transfer to a command economy. That is probably the biggest issue at the moment, is that we don't really have a lot of trade unionists around. Standard of living is not as high as it could be. But we are in the 1860s, so it's not surprising that standard of living isn't up there. It would actually be pretty surprising if it was really high right now. But we're just going to keep going. Oh no, we can keep mapping the American Western frontier. I guess we just got lucky and got the one result that we needed in order to get those states. I suppose that's all that happened, is that we just got lucky. And that's just it. Oh, here they come again. Oh, Italy united. I didn't notice that, even though I moused over there. Cool. Well done to Italy. Oh, these states aren't even beginning their incorporation. I probably shouldn't have done that. It's going to take a while, but I figured, why not? We're here. I noticed it. We might as well press the button. Press the button. What is our government? I know we're in debt and all that, so it's not great, but our government dividends. 23K. It's not great. It's not terrible, but, you know. It's not taxation either. Oh yeah, the socialist movement's pretty agitated again. We could actually... Oh, do they not? Is it just because they want either one? Oh no, the socialists would prefer to get regulatory bodies. They don't want to go all the way for worker protections. Okay. That makes sense. I might have hit my microphone there a little. I'm sorry. And we have a new mandate. We're getting them every 30 months now, which is fantastic. I would love internal trade too, just for the infrastructure bonus. We could grab food standardization. I really do love it because of that mortality reduction. Plus, if we're going for canning practices later on with oil, the efficient canning practices, all that really does is that instead of 60 groceries per level for all this consumption, it's 70 a level. So it's just a net increase in production. But you get the extra mortality in agriculture and plus the +1 standard of living, which isn't bad. I think we're actually modifying our standard of living by +1 at the moment, which is why we can now run high taxes without most people getting upset. Okay, a lot of them are still pretty upset. Also, I'm just gonna change this slightly. I didn't really look at it last time. There we go. That looks better. And there's a lot of things we could grab. If we wanted even more people to come in right now, there's freedom of movement, but I think we'll save that for our final one. Militarized industry would be great too, just because it helps the military. But let's grab food standardization. It only helps our agriculture, which is anything that makes grain, and interestingly enough, the vineyards as well. But you know what? I'm here for it. We'll get more grain. We'll make it cheaper, make it more profitable. Silently wonder if we're doing the right thing. Peculiar reconciliation. The slavery debate has finished. So it now does this. 5% radicalism and political strength reduction. Or I can tell them to, no. And I think we'll just tell them no. But that puts slavery to rest once and for all in the United States. This time. In this run. Man, the petite bourgeoisie had a lot of clout. No, Susan Anthony, you're staying. Stay here. Stay. There is now a corporatist movement. Or maybe there was a corporatist movement, and I just noticed. Lighthouse of Progress. System of wealth voting. No. Corporatist movement, regulatory, education. Actually, would prefer a welfare system. I mean, we could get wage subsidies later. We're at 61 million GDP as well. We're not doing too bad. We have the second largest GDP. The only larger one right now would be China's, just due to sheer scale. And also because they somehow got off opium and just became obsessed with liquor instead. I don't know what happened over there. It's weird. We're actually not selling liquor very well to them. Is it because of tariffs on China's end? Yeah, oh wow, they really have 45% is a lot of tariffs. Suppose they don't like us though, that is true. We are making a ton of money now, and I can't tell why. I guess it's because... Oh yeah, we're saving about 20k on government building costs. Like, that on its own is already saving a lot. So let's just maintain the high taxes and get this rolling. Although lower taxes would help the lower strata grow, we need to get all the, peasants to stop being peasants. And the only way to do that, to keep up with the endless flow of people, would be to upgrade it. I'm sorry, what? The Shoikaku Uprising? The Shikoku Uprising. That is a lot. I mean, if they were willing to become my subject, I would happily step in. Is now a bad time to bully Japan? Might be a great time to bully Japan, actually. Drawing 0.12. If I point a governor... Yes, let's point a local just to drop that a bit quicker. We're at 60. We could temporarily support their regime just to knock a weekly liberty desire down faster. To start the annexation process. Ooh, 174? Is it really that high? No, I'm sorry. We're looking at it the weird way, where it's just the regular one. That's not including the cost reduction you get because they're a subject. Where's our annexation button? Somewhere around here. Reduce autonomy. Next subject. Is it really 174 now? Is it just straight up 174? Have I, like, goofed myself there? I guess we'll find out. And if I have, I'll just have to murder relations with Mexico then and war them for half the country and go from there. So we'll check back on that in a few years and figure it out. Because I'm not sure. Oh, could you please stop with the work to rule, please? I know you want an election system and that would make you calm. But it really hurts when you do this to me. I don't want old age pension because it knocks down the workforce ratio. So how about like wage subsidies, but the lowest level of wage subsidies? Like you'll get wage subsidies, but it's not going to be that much. It'll be just like the bare minimum is what we'll do. All right, there we go. Maybe we can start exporting grain instead of importing it. Now that I guess we're not really importing grain anymore, are we? We could try to export it then, why not? So many bureaucratic administration centers. So many people. It never ends. It never ends. Our food industries have not been getting built up that much, but I've noticed the few that exist. They're doing that low wage stuff again. They keep flip-flopping between very poor wages and not as poor. I think that's the bug people were kind of telling me about with it, but I'm not certain. I could see it being the bug, though. Oh, but yeah, vacuum packaging is what efficient canning practices replaces. And as you can see here, it's the same inputs, but 60 groceries instead of 70. So that is what we would be replacing. We're making a lot of money now. Maybe we can afford to lower taxes. Maybe not. It keeps flip-flopping here and there. Yeah, I will say one bright side, though it could just be the sheer amount of people we have now, is that South Carolina is not undergoing mass depopulation like it almost always does in previous iterations of the game. That's nice to see. Oh? 3 million over the course of 1 year? Sure, I can afford it. Yay! The United States will annex the Russian-American company. There we go. Can I colonize this? I can. Sweet. 4 days. That's quick. Do we have a port here? We should. We do. Hey, look, Goldfields. It's already paying for itself. Oh, the colonization speed. Oh, the colonization speed. We'll check back on that later. Steel's gone up. Not surprising. Now, let's focus on what we're already building first. We might need to get more fertilizer now. This has iron and sulfur, so that makes it a great place for fertilizer. And I think this area gets the bonus, right? Yep. Market access, price impact. And once Alaska. Yeah, sure. Let's get it colonized even faster. Now that you're 20, will you agree? Oh, wow. Investment rights, Ryukyu port. Yeah, Shikoku exists now. They've been cut in half. 28, we should keep an eye on that. But I want to get the Mexico situation resolved first. Oh, yeah, now that we've gotten that from Russia, I don't have to be friends with them anymore. They just backed down, and that was what, investment rights, so now they should be opened. Forced market opening. Declared bankruptcy! Oh, jeez. Denmark wants to allow investment rights. I suppose we could. That was quick. Actually, you know what? No, it's good that we're getting this out of the way, because if it were to push to where it's the unoccupied territories, we'd be a little doomed, because they would probably auto-win. Fire Ulysses S. Grant. Get him out of here. I need a new general. I don't know who we're replacing him with. Man, there's still a lot of like landowners that kind of show up. Ooh, ironclads. Okay, traditionalist. Man, where's like my intelligentsias? I guess that's what we get for being on oligarchy the whole time. Maybe we should switch off. I don't know. We do see the investment pools being outpaced again, but that's fine. Hailstorm? Well, that's no fun. Who said the hail was invited? In fact, who invited the hail? I certainly didn't. American colonization rights. There's so much stuff going on. A new mandate appeared, I just noticed. We're currently at 1.89%. 70 million, wow. So what happens if we switch this on? 2.24. Oh, please, yes, more people. That's exactly what we need. It is absolutely what we definitely need. This will go well, trust me. It will be fine. Wouldn't be surprised if we can actually get a lot more of these food industries going now. Only they would just paid more. Of central planning in 5 months, not that we'll be able to utilize it right away, because we don't really have, again, the political clout for it. Need more government administration centers, though. Maybe we really should have gotten that paper. Too late now. We're just gonna go with what we have. I mean, the problem is the command economy. It requires autocracy, oligarchy, single-party state, or technocracy. It has to be one of those forms. You can't do it with anything else. So, like, technocracy would kind of work. It buffs, like, academics and engineers instead of the aristocrats and capitalists. That might be the way the aristocrats still have relative autonomy around here. So, we'll see. Maybe we can get interest group pressure to work. You know what? Can we actually get rid of the coffee? Well, not really. We're kind of running a deficit at the moment. Well, that deficit's just because of our issue. So let's just remove that, bolster the socialists, because they do want to get command economics. That way they stop slipping downwards. It'll push them back up. But they really don't have the support that they need, I've noticed. American supremacist movement has a lot of strength. Why is that? I guess we have a lot of peasants, but I don't really feel like that's the case on its own. What is driving your support? Nationalism and pan-nationalism, tax, serviceman profession. But you're peasants. So that's... Oh, this is the corporatist movement, but you're peasants. Wait, I'm confused. Ah, there we go. I was moused over something else. Still peasants. Okay, well... Whatever you say. Above expected standard of living. Oh, that actually hurts it. Right, so I have to hurt my people in order to make them like socialists. That's awful. That's a terrible thing. Don't do that. It's good that the standard of living is rising, but I can see why that might hurt the socialist attraction. Top radicals, too. High literacy also helps, though. Okay. What about the labor movement? I know that's gotten rather marginalized. Yeah. Love to get rid of child labor. Again, don't really have the people to do that. Technically have the command economy system now unlocked. No one really agitating for it. Is the socialist? Oh yeah, they're at 9%. Because we did enact wage subsidies recently, so they're pretty passive right now. They're not that upset. More Russian mass migration. It at least means government dividend efficiency is up slightly, but that's still not going to do well for a while. We're not really in the position to be using it well. Man, Persia's just breaking apart this game. Kind of sad. Oh, wow. Austria's really going in there, I see. Gonna do that just to keep an eye on the areas. Not that we can really do anything with them. We can get investment rights in Brazil. Why not? How is the Oregon migration going? 5.57K. Yeah, this is now named Washington instead of Southern Columbia. I really like that. Very cool. Is it really that much infamy? Is it no longer based on whether they're your subject? Is it? That makes this harder if so. Or if it's just because they're not at low liberty desire, maybe? Now they are. Ah, there we go. Okay, okay. Wow. So it only applies it if they're at low liberty desire. That way you at least have to get the desire down. That makes more sense. I was scared for a moment there that that was gonna really suck if it was otherwise. So let's get the 4th Army here. Well, first off, it really should get a few divisions. But then let's actually just... Oh, I'm sorry. Is that barracks construction? It is. I thought I had clicked on to conscripts. Make sure you get some artillery in the mix. And in fact, your armies need... Oh. I clicked on the same one twice, didn't I? Yeah. Wait, no. Why is... Oh, I never built you up. Right. Then you can get maybe 30 artillery conscripts and another 4. That way we have all these conscripts. It'll make the balance of power different. There's no guarantee people won't join, of course. We could let their liberty desire get even lower. Then there's a chance that they'll just cave in. We could also just roll the dice right now. Since Brazil would join us. If Brazil joins us, that counteracts Spain. If Italy joins, that's a problem. I'm not worried about Spain, though. You know what? I'm gonna dice roll. We will upgrade the army, mobilize the army, and we are going to enact conscription for 2 main divisions. This is going to be expensive, but our goal is the total subjugation of Mexico to unify it. And then, since we're in the middle of doing that, while we're doing that, get through Bolivia as a puppet, and then kind of start puppeting the others here that are low enough. Just so we have that going for us. Which is really only like 2 of them, but you know. Yep, so Spain did join. I could use this as an excuse to take Cuba, but I'm worried about going over 50. Oh, are they in their own market now? No, still American market. Is it just because we mobilized? No, pop consumption is up. Why is pop consumption? That is concerning. Why did pop consumption for opium just spike? I don't like that. I don't like that, because that would imply someone got obsessed with opium that wasn't one of the primary cultures. Because I have it set to where if one of our primary cultures gets an obsession, it will kind of, it will force that as a toast. The Dakani are obsessed with tobacco. That's cool. The Koreans are obsessed with fruit. Interesting. How are the Koreans doing? I'm curious. Well, most of them are getting to the 2nd level. It's, you know, it kind of sucks still, but it's not as bad. The Ukrainians are actually doing pretty well. I mean, if someone got an obsession with opium, they're not a big group. Because the numbers aren't high. Oh, there are so many people, though. Like, I don't know who it could be. I'd have to go through the list of, like, not every tiny culture, but like every culture just to figure it out. You know what? There might be a better way to figure this out. There is a better way to figure this out. If we go to here, it's because it jumps up suddenly. I don't know why. Where is the main consumption of this? 12 to 26, 21. 21. Why are you consuming so much? Ah! There it is. Yep, the Central Americans became obsessed with opium. That's why. There we go. We figured it out. Just had to piece it together. Oh, we should probably get an admiral for the Navy, shouldn't we? Yeah. Maybe like a Democrat, not a new slaver. Ooh, intelligentsia. Even better. Because that's definitely better than the landowner alternative there. How about you raise conscripts as well? It'll be a ton, but Mexico has kind of brought over itself. Not Mexico, Spain. Goodness. Turkish mass migration from Russia. Okay. And then while that's going on, we'll do a naval invasion and just kind of stab them from behind. We are not constructing because I am distracted by war. At least I have an excuse. Not that it's a good excuse, it's just an excuse. And I will at least be upfront and honest about that. We are kind of rushing the Era Vortex a bit here for... Yeah, I mean, to be fair, there's not that many of these left. We could probably push for political agitation next to get the single-party state going. Okay, I'm not worried about losing the naval battle now, since we did get the extra frigates. This is why we got them, for that reason. Civilizing mission is done. We do need ironclads. Not, like, terribly to where I should switch over to them right now, but we could probably import a few from Britain. Bolivia wants autonomy. I will answer the autonomy question with a resounding no. Alright. We do have an issue with radicalism still because of standard of living, because again, you know, high taxes and all that. That's okay. Ah, Krakatoa. Yeah, I don't want to take the 5 infantry. Most of this debt is just from the war right now. Once the war's over, we should be fine. We should probably be fine. I'm not entirely certain that we will be. How many peasants do we have now? My god, there's a lot of you. How many do we have? 11 million? 11 million working peasants? Oh, there's more peasants than there are workers. I know we're getting a lot of people, but it's like, it's still blowing my mind how many we're getting. Because it's a lot. What other techs are spreading? Just the repeaters from the military? Okay. I want to get the Zeppelins for the 5% Mappy. Ah! Spain is already gone. Burning Ashes. 20k. That's going to hurt so much. That wasn't even the worst one. It was the weakest Krakatoa. Oh well. We'll still do it anyway, just so our own financial system doesn't collapse too hard here. It's still going to collapse. 22k interest is not bad. It's just that goods for the military that just keeps growing as we mobilize here. Let's actually demobilize one of the groups now that Spain's left. I could actually demobilize 2 groups here to minimize costs. Because there's no longer as much concern. I will only accept the complete and total annexation of Mexico. We will not accept anything less than their total annexation. Although it's now one giant border, so we're kind of fighting everywhere, I noticed. That's fine. New mandate. Italy's also in a revolt, so we might check that out in a minute. +1 standard of living, efficient canning practices. That might push this up a bit. It did. So that will temporarily defuse some of the radicals, which is good. Not enough to, you know, calm things down, but it's enough to calm it down a little. Oh, do I not have an interest in Italy? That sucks, because it's such a small revolt, because, yeah, I didn't establish the, interests across the world. What is going on in Prussia? Such a small revolt. It's so adorable. It's so cute. I had to try, you know. I had to at least take a look. I wouldn't be playing the game if I didn't at least take a look at how likely it was, if at all. Okay, Mexico will agree. There we go. We're just gonna quietly switch all these over. We have Texas now as well, which is good. And then we do need to kind of start incorporating it all, which is going to be probably not problematic, actually. Texas is already incorporated. That's lucky. I forgot to incorporate Florida this whole time. Manifest Destiny of both are done, and populating the Americas. You know what? Sure. I'll take even more people. Why not? Why not? Let's have even more people flood the country, as if there weren't enough of them already. As if we didn't have enough people coming in. So I don't know the full situation of Mexico's economy down here, but I know there are gold mines, and we're probably going to just quickly start exploiting all the gold mines that we can find. For the extra minting. And then obviously the government's going to own it all, so, you know, don't worry about that. Maybe worry a little. Oh, yes. Construction sectors are switched over. We're not going to be making full income on it yet. It's going to take 5 years for a lot of those areas. I'm sorry, was that an intensity of 7? Oh my god, Texas is on fire. Oh no! Who forgot to bring water? Oh my god. It's an apocalypse. Forget being recently conquered. This place is burning itself down. Oh my goodness. That's awful. And terrifying. It's awfully terrifying. That was a horrible joke. I'm so sorry. At least our economy looks better. in some areas. I believe Mexico had national supremacy and like some religious systems, and we're not there. So I think we might be treating them slightly better. Zeppelins, excellent. Okay, that's good. I really should get dynamite at this point. The fact we're not using explosives at all in the mines is probably to our detriment. Or we're kind of using them at this point. I should at least use the nitroglycerin for the sulfur mines, even if it's low in price, because we're just always going to need more. We're never going to not need more. If we go for political agitation, I'm not sure... I know that would get us the feminist movement going, but I'm not sure what else beyond that. I think what we really need to do is just get the standard of living up so that the trade union can take more power. And so maybe we work on some more of these technologies, maybe more dynamite. I'm not too certain in that regard. There's a lot of ways to go about this that I'm not certain on what to do. Oh, corporate governance would be nice to get the fourth company, especially now that we could maybe establish other things. We never did branch out to Africa, and that's fine. We could always war for it later. If we need rubber, there's our South American subjects that will maybe not exist later. Single-party state would help us partially resolve our issues. And there is support for it. There is support. The yeoman farmers, for one, would support it. And, yeah. The People's Party, what would that be? The Agrarian Party? Is that because the yeoman farmers are the only one in government that support it right now? I guess we could work towards that then. Try to utilize that and get it established. Let's see how that goes. All right. Well, we're on very high taxes now, which is slightly painful, but we'll get through it. Oh, 2 million people in growth already. Not even counting all the migrations. I see we're starting to get a lot of political movements for various rights of individual people, probably because they're being discriminated against. We are still on racial segregation, that is true. We can get multiculturalism now, it's just, wow, the American supremacist movement would basically chuck us out the window if we did that. I see, so we might have the Mexican national movement would too. Interesting. Okay. That might become civil wars that we have to put down because of all the radicals, but, you know, we'll deal with it. We'll try to deal with it. I really don't want to set the trade union. I'll just take the money hit then. Reactionary revolt. Cool. I mean, not cool for France. They're kind of on fire now, but oh well. Heat wave. Who doesn't love a heat wave? I don't love heat waves. English mass migration to South Dakota. God, there's just so many people flooding in. I love it. We really need more construction to handle it. But that's okay. The gold mines will save us, don't you worry. The gold mines might not save us, we'll see. So we've kind of colonized Alaska. It's actually letting me... Can we not colonize this area? That kind of sucks. I mean, that's more Alaska than you usually get, at least. It's got all the gold mines available, so there's that. There's a revolution in England. Did I not put an interest there? I did not. I should have. I really should have interests across Europe, because they do start to rip themselves apart now and then. Krakatoa is ending, so... Well, it's partially ending. We'll start getting some of these costs back soon. That'll be good. We're at 100 million GDP in 1873. Not too bad. Our GDP-C, though, is very low. Like, we're getting... Oh, my God, we're getting so many people. I'm, like, half tempted to actually, stop people from arriving here. My God. Ooh, South Germans from Austria. You can bet that's going to be a lot of people. Macron, I really can't afford to help you right now. The socialist movement is at least agitating, so I think that means they add the basic level. Yes. The problem is that pretty much everyone that's important would resist it in some manner. Is there something I could bribe the industrialists with? Probably not. Nothing I mean, free trade I wouldn't mind bribing them with. What about the yeoman farmers? Some kind of election system, but then they wouldn't support single-party state, so that kind of is irrelevant. Could get migration controls, but, you know. We kind of want the people, even if it's causing us interesting headaches. And now we know what anarchy is. Well, someone knows what anarchy is. I don't know, I didn't ask. Just assumed it would work and, you know, left it at that. Could probably export coal to China just for the sake of it. Just for, like, the fun of it to see what happens, you know? Do we have a, trade agreement with them? We don't. Are they still, like, cautious towards us? They're just not getting off it? Yeah, okay. Oh, well. That's fine. Let them do what they, want to do, I suppose. Ooh, so they are going to do a little secession. That's fine. I think a lot of the radicals are, like, 75% down here, so... That'll just let us knock out some of the radicals and contain the problem in the long run. Let's go ahead and try dropping taxes, though, now that our unrealized taxes should resolve themselves after these are built. And that will probably restabilize the situation again. Some people will calm down. Most of them probably won't, but, you know. Basic levels culturally erasure. Yep. Yeah, it's primarily the radicals, just because they're all recently conquered, so they're very upset right now. Which is not very surprising when you think about it. Oh, I'd love to switch to command economy right now, but a 6% success chance against 44% stall chance is just not really going to go anywhere. I don't think lowering taxes will help that much either, but, you know, we'll find out. You never know. I guess we should make more tobacco, though. I do see the price of tobacco has gotten fairly up there. Could make a mixture of liquor and tobacco, I suppose. There's no reason not to do both. Probably. I'm just worried about making more groceries right now until we enforce a better wage, considering how they're acting. It looks like these constructions will finish before the secession happens, so at least those gold mines will exist. That's good. It's good to see. And I want to make sure bureaucracy gets back down before we make more construction, just to get a better idea of how it looks for us here. Because that's going to be, what, 6.5%? It's not too bad. It's not too bad. Qing will now accept a trade agreement. Fantastic. They've become genial. After becoming cooperative. Which is good, because that means it's much easier for us to sell stuff. Because we were not able to sell that liquor to them at all, because of that 45% tariff on the liquor. It was just awful. There was no way to sell anything to them. In fact, I don't need these. I don't need that. Let's just get rid of all of this. It's just useless. We could export iron to Qing. Why not? Just see what happens. We make a bunch of iron as it is. We're not even using our explosives yet for our iron mines, even though we really should. Let's just see what happens. Okay, radicalism calmed down a little, but not by a lot. Oh, I see what people are saying, how it bugs out. It hits 100, and instead of triggering it, just starts the next movement. So that's what people have been talking about. Okay. See, we're learning. We're learning that things are not entirely working as people intended for them to work, and therefore they'll have to fix it, and they're going to be sad about that. But at least they will do their best to fix it. The Lexington Advocate for the Protestant Traditionalist Movement. Well, you have fun with that. I'm going to have fun building wheat farms in the Great Plains, where there's a slight, a 10% bonus to their productivity. Ooh, Brazil will join. Fantastic. Welcome, Brazil. I probably will never make you a subject at this rate, but I need members so I can unlock the fourth slot. So this works for me. And the grain prices probably drop now, so at least the people will be a little better off. Presumably better off. No guarantee that they will be. How are liquor prices now? I'm sure they've gone up. A bit. I mean, our domestic consumption is probably down as exports grow. What about tobacco? I wouldn't mind just exporting a lot of this. I mean, we have Russia, but, yeah, Qing's already... the Chinese are already obsessed with liquor, so we can't really squeeze in tobacco there that well. Speaking of which, how about we take off the liquor tax and add a luxury furniture tax instead? That way we kind of switch around where the financial pressure is a bit on the consumption taxes. That might help some of the lower strata pops get up slightly. Oh, it almost helped these guys go up a bit. But grain prices are up and clothing prices are still up, so we'll solve that. Man, they're just coming on over. Farms to factories. I don't know if that'll ever get done. Where is our journal entry for the American frontier? Have we already finished it? I guess we have. I guess we finished it that quickly. I'll take it. That's fine by me. I'm just a little surprised. Okay, here's hoping that calms down soon, because it's going off a little more often than expected. You can't decrease relations with me. I'll increase relations with you. Okay, let's get a bit more construction going. That way we can keep up with this population boom that we seem to be under. Because I don't think it's going to stop anytime soon. Yeah, it's still locking to at least 10 members. Well, I know a country that we can bully and make a member by force. For a second, I thought Brazil was going to join them. I misread that really bad. A 4.9 intensity of optimal sunlight. Very cool. Is that on the... No, it's near the opium plantation. A little. What does 4.9 intensity do? Nice. Very nice. Optimal sunlight for at least 16 months. Man, the sun's just shining even during winter. That's some pretty good. Hey, more... Didn't that just start? Oof, 9 months of just wheat farms. And maize farms, which is fine by me. It's just a lot. Pollinator surge. Well, people like fruit. And plantations. There's gonna be a lot of them now. Okay, we can actually go ahead and get that. Single-party state. Do we do it? 23% chance. Oh, the anarchist movement is existing. It is protesting and has 11% of the Why are so many of you supporting the anarchist movement? Why? You know what's great is that they don't actually like single-party state. They just prefer that over oligarchy because, you know, there's a voting system now. It's easier to dismantle the state. And the industrialists aren't particularly upset by this, so we can actually push for this. Wait, which party will be in charge? The People's Party. See, the problem is that if I put in the trade union, I don't... Actually, wait. If I put them in charge, does that change who's going to be in charge of this? It still says People's Party. Let's tick it for a week. It's still going to be the People's Party? I don't know if that's true. I don't know if it's true or if it's lying to me. But I know the trade union would join the People's Party, and I know the People's Party can be turned into being, like, forever vanguardists. So that's okay. And while that goes, we're going to get the economy rolling now, because we really should get that rolling here for our 1870s, 1880s area. We're approaching... Oh, we're past 2.5 hours, actually. Oh, wow, look at that! The uprising actually happened, and here I was somewhat convinced it never would. Fantastic. Now we can go put it down in style. Violent style, but style nonetheless. Glass will get more expensive, and that's fine by me. 20% stall chance. Ah, the southern planters, because they're angry now. Have you tried not being angry? You know? Just simple, just don't be angry. Oh, actually, no, go back, go back. This is what labor... Ooh. Are any of these movements pressuring... Yes, you are. I mean, they're already supporting it. There's not a reason to change it, right? Yeoman farmers are already supporting it because of yeoman farmers. What about the petite bourgeoisie? Is there a radical? Would a radical support this? They'd be opposed to it, but they technically would. A Democrat would also be opposed to it. The radical would just also prefer guaranteed liberties. Anything else we'd have to be worried about? I guess if we're trying to go council... I mean, we don't have to go council republic. I don't really need to go council republic. That's just something under consideration. Let's invite... Oh, no, your popularity's too low. You're at 10. Okay, let's invite you, and let's put you in charge. That does drop us to unacceptable government, but we can now form a different kind of government with the intelligentsia, who also support it, so now it's at a 64% success chance, and the stall chance is dropped because of how high the success chance is. There we go. I love how the anarchist movement is what's going to get us through this. What makes the anarchist movement popular? High literacy, expectation, radicals, conscripts, agricultural employment. So, I'm guessing peasants really love the idea of the anarchist movement in the game then? Like, in the game. 22. Peasant profession plus 15, yeah. Oof. 14 after plus 3. Pretty cool. I mean, we could, you know, we could bolster this movement. We can make it even stronger to 15%, but I'll leave it where it's at. It's done its job. And our construction is starting to catch up a lot faster now that things are off the ground. I'm trying to not pour too much at once because I don't want to have to go back to very high taxes. Other fascist movement has formed now. That's promoting corporatists at first, but it can promote other ideas if they're so inclined. Do we have a lot of claims? I'm curious if we do. 30% is a lot. Do we have claims? I guess we have claims on something. Or that might be bugging out too, I suppose that's possible. Hey, Joshua Norton has appeared. Oh, the intelligentsia got a humanitarian. Sweet. Humanitarians like the idea of multiculturalism, which would calm down a lot of these people that are protesting about rights. And that was the Japanese movement I just noticed. What's our legitimacy at? I can say no. He who would be king. Just let him preach. What's he gonna do? Start a royalist movement? I actually don't know. What is he doing? English national movement. Oh, he's an enlightened royalist now, not a royalist? So you're telling me I could have put him in charge in the petite bourgeoisie and we could have just passed multiculturalism and been done with it. I don't know. So food for thought for later, I guess. Oh yeah, how is our fertilizer prices doing? Yeah, they're going up enough to where I really should at least put 10 more down. At least 10 more. Where is that mass migration for the Japanese? I hope it's on the west coast just from like relative geographical positioning, but I presume it's not. I presume it's going somewhere else. Wow, that's a lot of mass migrations. Italian North, Russian Kurdish, Japanese. Oklahoma. Oklahoma. Interesting choice. Ooh, Finnish. Japanese. Very cool. Very cool. My population is growing so rapidly. I thought getting 200 million pops in as the US with limited conquest, because we're trying to avoid pariah status, would have some difficulty associated with it. I didn't think we'd be over halfway to the goal by the 1870s. I really underestimated the potential there. I really did. I see Austria has annexed the southern German states, so they're kind of on their way to maybe unifying Germany. I have to say maybe because there's no guarantee that they'll succeed. They could just faceplant at some point and get nowhere with it later. All right, we are now a single-party state. Which party actually took charge? No one knows. The People's Party. And currently, it can't form a legitimate government at all. It doesn't know what government it can form. Who will join? Currently no one because it lacks rural folk backing. Have I bugged my game? I mean, we'll find out, I guess, once the election starts. I just realized, though, the People's Party will get the election. This might end weirdly. Wait, let's just, you know, maybe pop these two in there just in case so they don't disappear on us. Because I think the petit bourgeoisie are about to have way too much power, and I might have slightly messed things up. I really wish it wasn't the People's Party that took power. I wasn't sure if it was telling the truth there, if it was going to be something at random. I think right now the yeomen aren't joining it because of just illegitimacy. I'm not sure. We'll just see what it looks like after the election. This should be interesting. It should be very interesting indeed. Oh, they're not hitting 100. Very cool. Ah, 63. Not that I can really form a good government like yours, but, you know. It's just the petit bourgeoisie. Okay. We can kind of form a government. People didn't vanish off the face of the earth. But the petit bourgeoisie kind of have all the power now, which is a little concerning and very unintended. What have I done? What is this game? Oh, no. What is this game? There's not really support for a command economy. That's, unfortunate. There's not like a communist that I could take advantage of or something, is there? Probably not. No. Okay. Okay. The evangelicals were wiped out. That's something to note. Okay. Single-party state is a great idea. Don't worry. It's fantastic. This can't possibly go wrong, like, at all. There's no way it could go wrong. Oh boy, I've got to figure this out now. I've boxed myself into a corner without even realizing it. The game even told me what was going to happen, and I still just went ahead with it. Didn't really believe it. Man, where are my rural folk communists? I see we're getting, like, our petite bourgeoisie ethno-nationalists. Trade union, humanitarian, that's fine. I can at least use that to keep them going. Corporatist. They would support changing us to a corporate state, which unlocks cooperative ownership, which is not our goal here. But that would be really funny. Our goal is command economy, but it would be so funny to have cooperative ownership under the petite bourgeoisie. That would be the funniest thing ever. I don't think we can do it. Oh, but now I kind of want to. So why does it go illegitimate? Size of government, ideological incompatibility. Right. Presidential republic kind of enhances it a bit. And because you're a communist, you're a radical, so you have some differing beliefs. Oh god, that would be really funny, though. That would be really funny. I mean, we could switch to a corporatist state regardless, just to get that minus 25 legitimacy penalty and get the government size allowance. That would resolve our ideological issues, at least. Oh, I don't know if we'll get there. I need to figure out the command economy situation. Okay, I do see that the political clout is still adjusting here and there a bit, too, so we might wait on that. Ooh, I can get the trade union in power. The yeoman farmers will not be happy, but I can get the trade union power. That at least gets us a 13% chance. It's just that 31% chance that doesn't work very well for us here. Anarchy. You know what? I shouldn't exile him. They'll just get more upset. Randomly exiling people is probably not the solution that we need to be going for here. Getting Joshua Norton in power for multiculturalism in 3 years might be, though. Do we just try it? Because right now, I think you're agitating, you're passive, but if I start this, it should knock you up to 25, so that might actually bump it up to 20%? If that's how it works. I don't know if that's how it works. No, it's still going to go down because of the recently enacted. Okay, fair enough. We'll shoot it. We'll give it a try. Maybe we can pass it here in the first episode. Maybe not. And if we fail, you know, we'll try again next episode. I have built so many government administration centers, but I kind of need the workplace safety offices. We also now have dynamite. Really should get on to using that. Especially because we're at, what, 2.22, and if we start using it in all the mines that are using explosives, 2.24. Let it tick a little, give us the actual prices. Yeah, we could bump it up a little. Where's, like, the main explosive factory? I'm a little curious. It's probably best to build it in an area that can have sulfur. Or just along the river, like, over here in Missouri. California does have sulfur mines. Like, Missouri might be a great idea because of that mappy. And it does have a ton of people that need to be employed. Yeah, it'd be a what, 95%? I think 50 would be too much, right? Yeah, it's telling me that would be too much. 20? 20 is fine. We'll go with 20. I'm so glad that prediction system is more accurate. It's still not, like, 100% accurate, but it's more accurate than the previous version of the game, so, you know. I'll still take it and use it. Oh, I don't want to raise taxes back up. Ah, did we... First roll, it's a straight setback. That is unfortunate. Most unfortunate. This is so many movements. I can't keep track of it very well now. So many movements. I love how the socialist movement is so marginalized at this point because people's lives aren't terrible. And then the fascist movement is around, which is... You know, it's there. I don't know what to say. I'm not sure what to say. So we'll just leave it at that. I guess we could get a second navy. I had to, like, hesitantly click that. I wasn't sure if I wanted the ethno-nationalist in charge, but, you know, I guess we're gonna go with it. We're just gonna go with it. Wow, Persia has really, really collapsed. It has seen better days. Wow. Okay, maybe we don't look over there for a bit. They're really having a rough time, and, you know, now is not a good time. Ooh. I'll take it. It hurts our bureaucracy for a while, but 5% success chance is 5% success chance. Bengali mass migration, very cool. We actually... I know we got the tech a while ago, and I didn't do it initially, but we really should upgrade our ports now. Oh, we can get telephones. Oh, we can upgrade these as well. They'll suffer at first because they're making too much fish now, but that should fix itself over time. How is our furniture cost? Plus 14. Luxury is at -2. And you know what? Let's just build up the ports in some of these major areas, because I know there's just a ton of people, just a ton of peasants now. We could give them jobs, and it boosts our ability to export at the same time. Sell the Chinese even more liquor and iron. Why not? It's our destiny, after all. Maybe a manifested destiny. God, that's awful. None of them will take our help. Fair enough. Prove Bolivia as a subject. Not bad. Pump jacks, and we found oil in Texas. You know what pump jacks mean, though? More engine spending than I can afford, because, God, I haven't built any. I know we're going to suddenly use a ton of engines, so we're just going to build like 20 of these here in Illinois and get a few railroads going. Gonna need more lead as well now, which is... Oh, you know what? I can solve that very easily. We didn't need as much lead. Dizzy with success. A stall event. Our efforts to push our reform of the economy through has caused shortages and mismanagement in California. We have no failures, only successes. Minus 10% success chance, or I take a setback. And the petit bourgeoisie suffer an issue for 5 years. I guess we'll take the setback chance. I think we're going to fail, because the 32% success chance is just a bit too strong. I don't think anyone else is ever going to join the People's Party. I think the petit bourgeoisie have just got a monopoly on power now. Even with the two-party system negative not there, like, no one wants to join because it lacks rule folk backing. So a lot of people don't want to join it to begin with. And then the rule folk don't want to join it either. So it's just kind of sitting there, staring into the abyss. Reactionary. All New Brunswick technically exists still. Oh, we got to the amendment. It just needs to not stall out. It's probably going to stall out. If I know Victoria 3 in luck, it'll stall out at some point and just collapse. But we can have hope that it won't. Let's subsidize this one temporarily just to get it going. How are you doing, Brazil? Major power still? Very cool. Oh, we have 2 available mandates. I wasn't paying attention to the mandates at all. Wow. Do we want internal trade first? Are we spending anything on port connections? I mean, we kind of are. Yeah, I guess because we don't have a land route there yet, do we? Right, New Granada's kind of in the way. Or we could get freedom of movement for even more people? I mean, we're already sucking up the world's population. Why not suck up even more? Why not take even more of the world's people? Is that not also our destiny? Let's just see how it does for this. Illinois might be a better idea, because I think that one's going to last longer. Because that is... yeah, it'll last another month. Because, yep, there we go. The number just went up. And the number held because the migration quota increased by 25%. And the migration quota is heavily dependent on your infrastructure. Like, just the total infrastructure. Ooh, France is going on an aggressive warpath. They would... I mean, you don't really have anything to offer me, France, that I wouldn't want. I'd rather just kind of watch it and see how it goes, you know? The Coalition of Innocence is what Italy leads. That's great. Ooh, voting. Oh, don't do this to us. Don't do this to us where you get this close and then fail at the last moment. That's going to hurt so much. That will hurt so much if that's what happens. I'm going to be so sad if that's what happens. Norwegian. Ooh, the Dutch are in a civil war. No, industrialists. No, you're already angry at me to begin with. They want us to import steel. We can literally manufacture steel at a massive case. Oh, right. The, industry. Forgot about the engines. Because now we can make a bunch of engines. Do I want automatic irrigation for the... You know what? Why not? They'll crash, but it'll be fine. It'll be fine. It'll just crash everywhere. What's the worst that could happen? I guess, yeah, definitely the tobacco plantations for export. And then obviously the cotton plantations. You can't go wrong with those. This might crash the market for that, though. Yeah, it's definitely going to crash the market. And then we probably want to build 10 steel mills here too. Do we already have steel mills here? Oh, we do. For the local production of it. We really need to get open. Oh, we are researching it. Awesome. I was going to say, like, we really need the open arc process. We're using up way too much steel compared to our production. But, you know what? Already on it. Apparently. Oh! Oh, thank God! I thought it was gonna fail! Oh God, that was terrifying. Okay, we're nearing 3 hours, but since we have command economy, we really need to have fun experimenting with it. So, I really wanted to wait for 1.8 because if we have everything in the filter, I think we do. We do. You can choose to nationalize everything. Compensation would cost us 91.4 million. You can bet we're not giving anyone any money. This is going to radicalize hundreds of thousands of people, as if that wasn't a problem already. Britain will be very slightly upset with this, but this is mainly privately owned American businesses. Ooh, can you scroll wheel this? Ooh, you can, kind of. It's not quick, but you can. You can also do this where, you know, okay, maybe I don't want to take it from the companies, and, oh, maybe I want to take it from only the companies. Wait, there are 7 worker-owned? Cool. No compensation. These levels can't be nationalized. American metals can't have less than 5. Oh, it won't let me nationalize the company buildings. Okay, I see. Let's kind of do it this way then. Let's nationalize everything that is not that. Can't afford nationalization. We need 0. Well, I don't want to give compensation. What if I just pop it down here? It might be because I just nationalized things, so it's bugging out slightly. But yes, command economy, good fun. We just switched off of, I believe it was interventionism. And we're now here, so the bureaucrats have more leverage. Our nationalization compensation is knocked down a lot, but we can also just nationalize it without any consequence. We could technically switch off single-party state now, I guess. We probably don't need it, but I don't know. It's just a funny idea to me that the petite bourgeoisie own it all. I'm going to let a week tick happen, because this is basically going to see the aristocrats cease to exist. Bye-bye. We're going to need a lot of bureaucracy to manage this. Not too much, thankfully, but we're going to need a lot. Okay, will it let us do more now, or is it kind of going to chirp at us here until we know you can't? Must nationalize at least one. Oh, well, yeah, fair enough. Okay, there we go. I think it's just because it's... Oh, no, there we go. We're fine now. I see. It's not letting me do it, even though I technically wouldn't need to. It's kind of being, like, overtly cautious. Like I said, this is going to make a lot of people angry, but, well, half of them won't have... Is it spending the money anyway, or did I just misclick? I think I might have just misclicked and spent all the money. You know what? We'll just tax the people to pay for this, then. Someone's got to pay for nationalization, I guess. And why not the people? So this is off to a great start. We're already draining our coffers here. Right, the luxury furniture tax probably doesn't really pay anymore, does it? So we haven't fully nationalized the economy yet, and we're expecting a partial, like, collapse at first. Oh, right, the government dividends just went down because, yeah, government-owned debt is now massive in scale. Because someone misclicked a button and accidentally made it 61 million because he can't read. Lovely. I'm sure it'll be fine. Actually, yeah, add those both. Yep, so, something to note is that the companies will actually still I mean, these constructions are no longer able to do themselves, so they're stuck, but the companies will still build. I, don't know how this is gonna work now, though. Like, I'll own the other... Can I, like, give it to them? Can I nationalize them? Privatize them? No. So, if I want the companies to own things, I just have to hope they build it? I can't, like, give it to them? That kinda sucks. But I guess that would make command economy a bit overpowered. I can still nationalize it, though, and weaken them. That's funny. Oh, do they actually still have capitalists in charge? They do, so they're, like, the only capitalists who are allowed to exist. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, so don't do what I did and accidentally press a button to where, like, you have no gold reserves now. That was a very dumb mistake of me, because now our government dividends are going to be pretty much gone until government-owned debt is wiped out, and I can't afford to nationalize further until we wipe that out now. But as our subsidies issue resolves itself, I think we'll be okay. Yes, the latest secession movement to come over and complain in our ears before we politely ignore them and ask them to leave. How are the cotton plantations doing? It looks like they're actually doing fine now. Given it enough time, they'll start making money for us. Government dividends, cash reserves. Fair enough. New neighbors, new grudges. Poor Bretons. They just wanted to come on over. Why do they have to be discriminated against? Go and start building up a lot of stuff now. Oh, yep, our market system seems to be doing a lot better now. We're no longer reliant on the British for clothing at all, which is fantastic. Because that was a scary, scary possibility if we ever go to war with them. I have to say if, because I don't know if we will. And Peru Bolivia really wants that independence. Well, I guess they are defiant. So it is kind of fitting the book, so to speak. Conquer state in Japan. Wow, Japan has really been tearing itself apart. Maybe we should play more aggressively. Is what I think out loud, but in reality, there's a whole America to conquer over here still. And I know if we go after New Granada, I'm pretty sure France is not guaranteed to join. Oh, they're bankrupt. France is bankrupt. Awesome. That's really cool. That's probably not a good thing for them, but oh well. Paper is expensive. That's fine by me. We'll just build up some paper. Actually, do we want paper in Mexico? Not yet. Let's build up maybe just the 20 in Oregon. It's got the wood there. Alright. Yeah, government dividend efficiency is going to be terrible until I get the government-owned debt out of the way, but, you know, like I said, I kind of messed up really bad there. And then taxes are pretty unrealized at the moment due to protests. Disputes, you could call them. Protesting disputes. Yep, so I'll try to stabilize this a bit, get it in a better looking position, and then we'll, you know, deal with it after. But yeah, this People Party's part, I didn't really think this would happen. We're kind of stuck in that regard, aren't we? Alright. I don't want to collectivize agriculture, because I'd rather keep the whole thing under a command economy system. Actually, how does that work with the agriculture? It is all just owned by us. Okay. That's good to know. Actually, yes. Since we have them here, we might as well try to end child labor. Lower mortality a little, get more research going, you know. Good stuff like that. Since they're here. They might fail, they might succeed. Don't know. We're just gonna find out. First Wyoming doesn't have a railway yet. I guess we may as well finish that, right? At least so we can say it's done. Find a scapegoat. The public demands a sacrifice. I don't know if sacrifices are a good idea, but the public will get one. Ah, we did get open hearth process. I did not notice that. That will help drop the price of construction a fair bit. I'm going to go ahead and upgrade this area. So, this area some more. And I don't know, I kind of want to build more food industry districts, but my hope was that I could give the districts over to the company to benefit from the company bonus, but now it's basically like if I build food industries, they won't have the bonus from the company. But if I sit around and wait, it will probably take forever for the company to get around to building it, so I'm kind of stuck when it comes to that now. Which is kind of unfortunate, but at least we get the birth rate increase from the company still. So it's not a, it's not a complete loss or anything like that. We still get something out of it. It's just not as much as it could be. Well, the industrialists lost a lot of clout at least. I don't know, it's just unfortunate that it works that way. I'm kind of upset about it, but oh well. Maybe they'll change it in the future, maybe they won't. We are going to press on with it regardless. As soon as we climb ourselves out of the debt hole I made like a fool. The good news is that as government dividends or government dividend efficiency is increasing, so are government dividends on average. So we know that we're getting into a better and better position. We'll have to lower taxes after we dig ourselves out of this. It also means I really can't afford to up construction, even though I really want to right now, because we have to dig ourselves out of the hole I made. Although I'm curious, is it because it was applying the cost even though it shouldn't, or was I just a fool? I was probably a fool. I'm sure anyone who can look back will know that it was just me being a fool. Because if I do, let's say, 2.25 million... Okay, it didn't add the cost at all, so yeah, it was just me being a fool. I upped this again and forgot to click out to not give compensation, and then, it gave compensation and we were doomed. But this will pretty much destroy the capitalists. At least it should. I probably need to. Oh, the Transcontinental Railway's done. More people on the West Coast would be nice. It affects Alaska, too. Because why not? Why not have more? Oof. A lot of radicals still. Hopefully we don't have as many soon. Probably will have less once I actually finally lower taxes on them. Oh, I'm sorry, that's minting. I was trying to figure out why it was so low. Where is government dividends? Right below minting. Ooh, random pacifist agitator. Whoa, why did government dividends suddenly collapse? What happened? Oh, the petite bourgeoisie stopped being happy, so bureaucracy collapsed. I see. Because you're now you're just not happy anymore, is that it? I see. See, that's the one downside to all this, is that if the bureaucracy collapsed, we're kind of doomed. And you're led by a radical. There's a lot of things we could try to pass. Guaranteed liberties is one of them. Not that it would help us, it's just one of those things on the mind. Or we could just try to replace your leader with someone a bit more incentivized. Ah, which group are you in? English National Movement. Yeah, that's not really going to pressure anyone, so I guess it kind of can't join anyone then, huh? Alright. Fair enough. Fair enough. I don't know, is there anyone that would, like, start a particular movement that we want? Probably not. Reactionary movement. Probably not something we're aiming for. But cool that it exists. Or, well, can exist. I guess we're just gonna have to do some emergency government construction again. Yeah, you're gonna see this a lot. We really need to grab telephones. We have the command economy part of the tech unlocked, but we don't actually make telephones yet. Which is, you know, a problem. Could be people radicalized too. And that might have been another part of the issue. I expect our economy to temporarily stall here because of the taxes and everything. We weren't really primarily set for this, especially because, again, I misclicked and just kind of nuked our government dividends, which was horrible. If that hadn't happened, we'd be fine right now. We'd probably be ending the video. But instead, since we're in this situation, I'm trying to dig us out of the hole and put it in a neat little spot before we walk away from it. Ooh, more Koreans. Population is still booming, at least, so, you know, we got that going. General's misfired cannon. Sure, have him step down. So many petite bourgeoisie. Random anarchist in the mix. Okay, so probably still need more of this. Just put like a bunch of them down. But we also got the iron for exporting. Mostly using it in the steel mills nowadays, but you know, it's a good export item too. Lots of things are at this point for us. Yep, that'll get us some of our taxes back too, so that should balance things out. I'm just really disappointed with the company operation part. This is not working as I had hoped. But, well, what can you do? Do we have oil already? Oh, whaling stations, so kind of. Build like 10 of them then. Yep, those are still building good. I just had to check. Enactment time, might as well. Still 9%. Oh, that like expectation is so high. Oh, 2 stalls in a row. We'll probably fail at this rate. But that's okay, we'll get through it. Old ways deactivated. I know we haven't really been using our infamy as well. I've been so focused on trying to restabilize the economy that I, you know, broke by mistake, but oh well. Britain would probably join. Britain's not too scary. I mean, I guess they are. They just aren't to me. Can we take Cuba? We should probably take Cuba at this point. Never got around to taking Cuba. Should probably take Cuba. They're not allies, are they? No. Okay. This should be fine then. Alright. What better way to distract people from a bad economic situation brought about by someone's mismanagement than a war against a foreign power? This will definitely end well. Qing sides with Spain, really? And now I either have to... that kind of sucks, because I didn't think Qing would... Why would Qing join? Are they allied? They're allied to Spain. Okay, well, that makes... I'm not sure why they're allied, but okay. That's going to kind of suck then, because it means our exports to Qing are going to kind of just drop off. I suppose it won't be too bad, but that is like a third of our liquor exports down the drain pretty soon here. Try to export it to Russia. Not that it's going to go anywhere. We'll just deal with it. It'll be fine. Okay, there we go. That's at least positive now. Which has actually almost immediately made this positive. Yeah, massive debt greatly reducing your government dividends by, what is it, 50, 60... Yeah, that's really painful. I really messed us up with that. We really should probably work towards modern financial instruments, since that does give another 5% government dividends efficiency. And it would definitely come in handy for us. Are there any subsidies we cut? Not really. I presumed not, but I needed to ask the question aloud and kind of dig in to see what the yes or no answer was. Just in case. Yes. I guess we're just gonna do this. I guess what we could add, although I don't know... God, I really don't want to fight Qing because of the army size. Not that their army is that big of a concern. It's just, you know, it's there. Let's just take Cuba. This is... We're already risking it with the size of our economic, deficit, that I really shouldn't spread this war further. Oh, yeah, we're also paying... Well, 19k in interest is kind of a drop in the bucket, really. Alright, hopefully we can end this soon then, because goodness, this is going on for a long time as it is. Workers of the world. Sure. Why not? We'll have our little workers of the world paradise. 37 defense. That is a lot more than I expected. So I will need to grab conscripts then. Even though the Navy can't really cover them. But that's fine. We'll just deal with it. So many mass migrations still. 2.34% annual pop growth. It's just going to get out of control, I bet. Can I really afford to up education right now? Not really. I want to. I really do, but I kind of can't afford it. In the current circumstances. I mean, the current leader of this probably won't last, so there might not be much reason to be changing this, but... National supremacy, please no. Joshua Norton probably won't last, but let's grant him command. He's loved. You know what? We granted him command. Can I... No, you're the current president. Can I have you resign from office? There's an idea. Resign from office. What if we try to enact a council republic? Now you're angry, you resign from office, everyone will blame you for the problems, and a random corporatist takes power instead. Well, we tried. Look, we can say we tried. We tried that angle, it didn't work. But you know what? They are at least not displeased with us, and are helping the bureaucracy again. So we can kind of bolster it a little. And then they would actually support enacting a corporate state. Technically the trade union doesn't like that idea, but a couple other people don't like that idea either. God, that'd be so funny. I mean, it would help government legitimacy, why not? It also did reduce our debt interest slightly, which isn't much, but it saves us money, which I'll take. Better than nothing, at least. Oh, we have shrapnel artillery and we're not using it? Let's upgrade to that then. That would probably help us in the fight. Like, a lot. Because of the extra offense they'd have. Of course, the extra bodies will help too. But now the extra bodies are now overloading the ships. So we'll probably need to send a second wave of extra bodies at some point in the future. I love this game. I love the terrible, terrible consequences of my actions that are now rearing their heads. Because, this is not going well. Oh, there's an insurrection brewing, so I can't bring it down. How did you get injured? Let's pull you out, position you there, so you can just defend against that. That way a fully well-equipped division is going in this time. It might stand a better chance. There we go. Got the first one down. Did stop constructing, which could be a problem. Ammunition shortage. Yes, that makes sense. We didn't really plan for a war, did we now? Maybe just fund these just to keep it flowing for a bit. Kind of just gonna switch things over here really quick, even though it's probably not the best idea. Please give me a moment. Efficient canning practices. We should have the oil for it now. It does need fish, which we have plenty of. It's just gonna go into a deficit because now there's too much other stuff. Too much groceries. That's the word. Groceries. Speaking of groceries, we might as well make some more stuff here and there. Ooh, low market access. Is that because of hail or... Nope. We just haven't paid attention over here. Actually, let's focus on the plains at least. Just because those will be easier to get up. Yep, this war is just adding the cost, but the government dividends are currently very poor because of the huge debt I accrued, and unfortunately, I don't have a good way to get off it. Because I did not pay good attention. But after this war, we should be fine. Hard work and hard workers. Oh, we'll see. New mandate. Sweet. Let's go ahead and upgrade internal trade. I guess the infrastructure's not an issue. Not that it is right now. It's just, you know, mandate spending. Gotta spend it on something. Okay, so it looks like we will get Cuba. We'll also probably go bankrupt at this rate. I'm gonna have to disband the main army and let the smaller army take over. Probably run a slight deficit spending as well. Lots of people are upset, which is just choking our taxes. Man, we really just kind of sped run this and just slammed into every wall possible without any regards for what we might be running into. But we also got way more people than I was expecting, so we really kind of went into a melting pot situation. Probably before we were ready for it. There we go. Okay, Qing will leave soon, so that's good. The debt situation is not getting any better. The economy did stall out as we expected because of the standard of living stall. But we're still growing pretty well. Also, you know, the whole war thing stopping the exports, that kind of hit us a bit too. Ooh. Central American secessionists. Very cool. I see our construction went up because of a research. That actually explains why it's so high suddenly. I'm just going to take an emergency decision at this point and cut government wages. That's not going to be great for the economy. But between that and like a temporary construction slowdown where we just won't use as much of it, we're just going to have to do that for now. We're kind of at that point where I have to get this down somehow. Even if that means letting something collapse for a year. So we're just going to let the construction pool dry up. It's going to massacre our steel, so we're going to have to export it. But because I have just completely flummoxed the situation, I don't have much of a choice. The only way we can reset this is either bankruptcy, which I'm going to avoid, or just let this happen. Just let the money flow back in this way. Recover the government dividends, and we should be fine. We're just going to let it happen and hope trade can keep everything else running. I see glass fell too. I forgot about glass. I mean, these markets in Europe might suffer when the exports suddenly halt, but that's not my problem. Scapegoat. Oh, they will join the People's Party. I don't know what changed their mind, but I will take it. The rural folk are now in charge. Kind of. Actually, it's only them now. This is scary. I want out. This is scary. What have we done? Okay, government dividends are starting to skyrocket now that the efficiency is actually going up. And government legitimacy will go up once the corporate state is established. The economy should still stagnate for a bit longer here since our construction kind of just suddenly halted, which wiped out a lot of dividends generation there. And we are kind of nearing our own end time. That is okay. I keep saying that because I'm trying to tell myself, hey, I gotta stop at some point. I can't do this all day. Oh, following the yeoman parties entering the structure, utterly broken, the abolition of the party to preserve the state. Oh, wow. Really? So if the yeoman farmers do that, ooh, that emergency switches us to oligarchy. Because suddenly we had no state. I see. Oh, wow. So now we're on oligarchy again. Interesting. And the yeoman farmers are supporting a militant revolution of anarchists who don't want the corporate state to be enacted. This has been a wild game already. That's 46%. This is really going up now. Fantastic. And it's a shame that we're not constructing for like a full year, but it's the only way I could rectify the situation that I had created. There we go. And we're just going to go straight for that modern financial instruments just to improve the efficiency a bit more. But there we go. We're pretty much wiping it out rapidly now. Enough to where I could start doing construction again. And, yeah, look, don't pay attention to the words in the upper left. Also, the People's Party exists again. I'm confused. I think the game is as confused as I am. The People's Party both exists and doesn't exist at the same time. That is my understanding. It both does and does not exist. Can we go back to single-party state? I liked that better. The anarchists and the others would approve. Yes. Let's do that. What would it be? The People's Party again because they're the only. Yeah. Okay. This is wild. I don't even know what's happening anymore. Okay. Well, I'm just going to say that problem is solved. And we are now thankfully running a positive balance. Enough to where I could actually drop taxes and keep construction going. Okay, there we go. That's stable. Given time, give it a few ticks here, and everything should actually finally stabilize, and we can maybe step away and not be worried about this collapsing later. It does mean all of our exports of steel and glass are going to fall now. But again, that's okay. Not our problem. We can make it our problem, but we won't. There we go. Yeah, there we go. 610k. It's really going up there now. So we can actually drop taxes again and finally get rid of all those negatives that we've been suffering from the entire time. And then start considering, like, more construction. We actually should get rubber going now that we can actually think about that. This is probably going to be more rubber than we can utilize, but we just want to get it started. Don't worry, just the people that are trying to get attention by starting problems, just ignore it. Don't worry. It's okay. Just... we'll look into it. Yeah, there we go. It's a lot more stable now. We can get it from government dividends instead of taxing the people, which will help standard of living go up. And Theodore Roosevelt exists. Theodore Roosevelt did exist. Oh, God. That will help the economy go up because people will be able to buy more things, and we will finally be out of this self-manufactured crisis. Because that is kind of what this was a self-manufactured crisis. Why are you getting paid so little? What is wrong with these places and paying next to no wages? I don't get it. I didn't do it. It's not my fault. It's probably because the cash reserves are super low, if I had to guess. That's probably what's causing it, is the primary source. Yeah. I assume that's what it is, at least. It's a decent possibility in terms of explanation. Let's see, we still have about 14% of the multiplier, because it should be at 70%. It's currently at 60.6. Which is not a bad thing. Radicals are going down, at least. It was mainly standard of living issues. We've really been writing that way too much. Like, way more than we should have. Let's start removing a few consumption taxes as well. Just, especially the... Yeah, especially those. It'll give us a better idea of what our money's at, but also removing the consumption taxes on the intoxicants should help the lower stratas a bit. Not too much, but it should make it less of a pain for them. Which will help some government dividend efficiencies. Although, wow, steel is one of our highest alongside paper. I mean, I guess, yeah, the bigger the government, the more paper we need, the more paper we make. So it's not insane, it makes sense. Oh, wow, our literacy rate is really through the roof. Which is good. That's a good thing. I just noticed it. Alright, single-party state has been re-established, which has completely messed everything up. Don't worry, we have it under control. The yeoman farmers are now in charge. This will go fantastic. Who's gonna be in charge next time? I'm really curious. I'm really curious as to who's gonna take power next, because we seem to just be having a game of musical chairs at this point. Who's in charge? No one knows, because it's changing every other week. Can we get multiculturalism? Maybe when the yeoman farmers get an anarchist. That's a lot of bourgeoisie. Can the women ever get, like, rights? Oh! Did our laws get changed? Have we always been on legal guardianship and I never noticed? I've been sitting here this whole time thinking that we were on, like, women having property rights. Have we been on... Solidarity's increasing it, that's why. Okay. I guess we have been. I mean, with so many peasants, it's not a major concern, but I'd like to give women more rights. If that's okay. Are we at least fully constructing? Is that what this is based on? Good. Excellent. Let's get worker protections, because some of those wages are just terribly low at this point. The petite bourgeoisie don't like it under their current corporatist because they prefer the previous law, but that's okay. It'll be fine. And now I presume we're making rubber, right? Because 50 of them are existing. Yeah. So, I never traded to the financial districts. There's still 40 of them. Should probably get rid of those. They exist because we allow it anyway. 3K rubber, excellent. So we can just switch that over, and that'll be more efficient. Make steel hulls. Make sure everything is docked back in to just switch on over. Maybe grow the fleet up a little. Oh, I can't because we're always in a revolution now, so we can't quite disband the Navy. Which is a slight problem. But it's okay, the economy is now starting to soar after, you know, terrible mismanagement. I love how there's just the Great Plains is, like, low in standard of living, because everyone here is getting paid, like, nothing for some reason. I still have no idea why. Democrat is now in charge. That changes nothing. I mean, maybe it changes something down the line. We'll see. And steel and glass are up there, which is, you know, it's fine. I'm just surprised. I guess it's because we're still exporting it, huh? Are we, like, actually still exporting this? No, the roots are actually pretty much gone. Oh, is that the... Yeah, the Central Americans again. Well, radicals are slowly dipping downward, so it's fine. Now, if I could just pay attention to the numbers, we'd be okay. But we're almost at that full efficiency now. At this point, it's giving us more money than a lot of our taxes are, which is good. Means I have plenty of authority to maybe spend somewhere. There's so many political movements still, it's ridiculous. Man, they have so much support. It's kind of silly. And then the anarchists are the only other ones that were, like, noteworthy in some manner with how much support they have. Oh, right, the government wages are still down, aren't they? I should probably start fixing that. Because the, like, clerks and bureaucrats are probably below, or at least at their expected standard of living. I noticed some clerks earlier were, like, a point below it, so, yeah. Maybe we give them money so they can start buying more products. That would probably be a wise thing. Yeah, there we go. Now they're buying more goods. And that makes the petit bourgeoisie less unhappy. And now they're buying more goods, the economy goes up, I can raise their wages again. And that should cycle back up and not actually be an issue. We're just suffering. Wow, this bureaucracy is going into a hole so fast. I might need elected bureaucrats. I mean, oh my god. Oh, yeah, I think we need elected bureaucrats because the population is really, really increasing that institution cost. Good god. Or just get telephones, honestly. Either one would do. Either one would do for us. Alright. Yeah, there we go. The bureaucracy centers are being built, and immediately we're seeing a revenue increase. Because now we can actually afford to collect the taxes again. Woohoo! There are way too many people. I need more construction. I desperately need more construction. I can't stop playing. Like, I'm having fun with this, trying to mix, match, and balance it. We're actually almost at 1890. At this rate, we'll only have enough time for 2 to 3 episodes instead of... I mean, we could play past 1936. We don't have to stop here. We don't have to stop at 1936 just because the game says so. But it's just cool to see how far you get in 100 years, right? I feel like our economy... Yeah, how long did the economy stall? Yeah, that's a good, like, 5-year period of a stall. Just kind of a stall out where it wasn't really going. But now that we have finally resolved the terrible mismanagement of someone, we can actually think about even more construction sectors. And then realize I need more glass, and I don't have enough built for glass. How much is this making it 50? 3.37? Okay. Yep, that'll be enough to cover what we need. Because this will employ more people, it'll create more demand. We'll need more construction. I hope we're not trapping ourselves here into something that we'll regret later. I guess we'll find out. As for the companies, they're 500. Is that with destitute wages again? Yeah, Jesus. That's just awful. I can't believe they're paying them so little like that. There we go. The only things that exist now are the companies. Just gonna close that there. There we go. Yeah, not surprising the costs are higher. We did just increase our construction cost. Oof, 1 million government dividends though. 70%. Remember, we're about to bump it up another 5%. Tool workshops are making the most. If we could just get techs to make it more efficient now, that would be fantastic. Illinois is really being built up to be kind of being our economic hub at the moment because it has so many people. And it's probably just going to keep getting more people at this rate, and that's fine. I'm fine with this. There we go. There we go. That's why I wanted it for that minimum wage. That should now force this to actually pay a wage. Yep. There we go. It'll pretty much murder their own profitability, but... Well, it won't murder it. They'll still be profitable. Their people just won't... The people under their employment won't be suffering forever. Jeez, that's a lot of movements that are affected by this one way or the other. What does this do? Oh, it increases the movement, but it imprisons them. Oh, wow. Seditious libel is what he's accused of. And we can just let him off with a warning and then exile him. That feels so cruel and unnecessary. And yet a bit bemusing at the same time. So you would oppose a move to multiculturalism still. But you would help us get to cultural exclusion at least, which would slightly help people. I mean, I don't know, I'd really rather have a humanist. But it's the yeoman farmers that kind of control everything, which is the issue. Which is kind of a situation where... Oh no, Marx is gone! Uh-oh. I guess we don't need him anymore, but you know, he's gone. He's not here anymore. Oh, wow, really? Okay. Interesting. Do we just abolish taxes now? I guess we can't, not yet. We're not like there yet where we can abolish taxes. We can abolish consumption taxes themselves at least. Because we're no longer running a financial deficit. Now it's just about building up a very efficient administration. And we are very, like, we're at 3 hours and 40 minutes now, so I'm going to stop it here. This is going interestingly. Our GDP goal is very far away. We're getting so many people, I'm not sure if we can reach it without hyper-increasing construction, because there are still more peasants than there are gainfully employed pops. Because that's just how many people have flooded in to the country over the decades. Migration is it's just through the roof. I would like to be more aggressive and push further south here. In 6 months, we get the modern financial instruments. We'll make this 5% more efficient in the dividends that we're getting. Obviously, some things are not very good in their productivity right now. Other things like the iron mines are. And if we could just make them more efficient, that'd be great. Just where they're making more money. And the answer right now, this weekly balance wouldn't be great because obviously engines are very expensive. We need to make more engines. That's something we're going to try to do. But upgrading the production methods is a good way to kind of make this more profitable. I know oil is a bit too cheap right now because we're not making a lot with it. So what we might do is get modern financial instruments, maybe go for macroeconomics for the price impact because that would have an effect. And then, or maybe right after this is done, we're probably going to kind of start grabbing a lot of these techs here. More efficiency with the construction, yes, but mainly like more glass productivity, making more grain, which would be very helpful. Because I guarantee you, chemical fertilizers, aside from the drought harvest impact increase, would make more money from these, and that would go a good way. I don't know how much grain is making for us right now. Wheat farms are at 55k, and then the maize farms, which aren't as plentiful in total, are just under 20k. It's not too much, but you know, it is making a profit. And the gold mines are too. Ooh, textiles. We only make regular clothes because we don't really have access to silk. We could make art silk, though. Where is that? Art silk. Because they did change this to where it's only 10 wood, and it just takes 10 dye out instead of, like, 30 dye. So we arguably could make a bunch of synthetic plants with the fertilizer and sulfur we have. And just mass print dye instead of using the dye plantations that we have? Why are there worker-owned buildings here? Yeah, well, benign neglect, I guess. Benign neglect, I suppose. Just let them do what they're doing for now. We can ignore them. But yeah, so what I'm thinking is the next couple of decades, which might be our last couple of decades, unless, I mean, we might go past 1936, we'll see. We're going to try to just balloon this as much as possible. with the insane amount of people we have. I mean, at this point, it's just growing itself on its own. It's phenomenal. We really should give women more rights because it would help the standard of living go up if more people are working and increase demand, which would then increase our profits and make it run better. We're in a very peculiar position with our politics. I didn't think it would end this way, and it kind of just went this way. I don't quite know what happened. I'm kind of seeing if there's any interesting generals that rolled the last one. No. Oh boy. Yeah, so that was fun. This is fun. We'll definitely be continuing this later. And I think one last thing to look at before we go is just what do cultures look like? Lots of Dixie, lots of Yankee, Kurdish, Russian, Korean, Scottish. Very, very interesting little map mode. Still Turkish in Canada. How many Russians are here? Almost 300,000. That's still remain. There's Persians, too. We actually have 2.33 million Russians out of the 40 million that exist in the world. I love that we can use this now to see how much of a culture is in our country relative to its total size. That is just beautiful. Speaking of which, is Russia is actually on laissez-faire with free trade and tenant farming. And there's a socialist movement that's threatening a revolution in 1889. That would just be icing on the cake to see that explode in some direction. All right, well, thank you for watching. We're definitely going to have another episode of this later this week, probably around Tuesday or Wednesday, maybe Monday if time permits. So, thank you for watching. Let me know what you thought, and I will see you next time.